it was about 10 people, and one of the people sitting around that table was an old friend of mine called Ty Cohen, and Ty is an expert on Amazon, particularly Amazon Kindle. And I know for a long time I know that Ty has been doing a lot of stuff with Amazon, but he was kind of talking through kind of some of the new stuff which he'd been doing, and he assured me that he was doing some incredible stuff that had never been actually taught before. And I convinced him to do a webinar, and we've been talking about doing this webinar for so long, and finally he's agreed to do it, and we have him on the line today. So Ty, are you there? Thank you so much for coming in today.
Yes, I am. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm excited. I'm actually pleased and pleasured to be here with your audience today because they look like just an awesome bunch. I mean, we have people from everywhere, so I'm really excited about this. I see we've got Lee from my old state of Connecticut, and then I see we've got Daniel and Gary
Ah,
from North Carolina, where I currently live.
that's right. You do, don't you? Fantastic. Well, I'm so pleased to have you on the webinar, and I look forward to bumping into you again at another event. So, but I've also got my notepad out today, Ty, because you've told me that there's going to be a load of stuff here, new stuff for me as well. So I'm going to be taking a load of notes as well. So, Ty, what I would like to do is I'm just going to hand the screen over to you. So I'm going to make you the presenter. Is that okay, Ty?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, guys, it might take a little second there just for the technology
There you go. I
to
see it's
start working.
transferred over there.
There you go.
We should be good to go.
Okay.
Paul says, I was just
Yep, I
vacationing
see
in the
it.
Carolinas. May move there. Paul, come on down. Paul, where are you at right now? You're going to love the Carolinas. Trust me. Ron says, hi, Ty. Hi, Ron. Illinois. Yes, definitely, Paul. You want to come down. All right. All right. So
What's the weather
the weather
like,
right
Ty, at the
now,
moment?
we are at about 80 degrees right now in North Carolina. So it's awesome.
Wow.
It's awesome. All right.
It's
Yeah.
foggy here. It's foggy here today, this morning.
So, Sarah, I'm excited to be here. I'm pleased to be here. We've got a great audience, and ladies and gentlemen, Sarah has told me a bit about you, and she says that you're a very smart bunch. You ask questions. You're very interactive. So I love that, right? I've sat on these webinars before where it's just the presenters speaking to you, and I want to make this an interactive event because I love teaching, and I'm very blessed to have come across this system that I'm going to teach you. It's a system. That's what I like to call it. Uh, so with that said, I invite you to ask questions. If there's anything that I go over that you don't understand or would like more clarity on, by all means, go in and ask questions. We're going to be here until, well, I don't know about Sarah, but I'll stay here until every single last question is answered, okay? So how's that sound? Does that sound great?
That's Yeah, that sounds fantastic. That's to be honest, Ty, that's the kind of webinar I like doing. I love doing webinars where we answer everybody's question because there's nothing worse than being on a webinar and your question doesn't get answered. So what I'm going to be doing, Ty, is I'm going to be keeping an eye on the questions, and then maybe we can do like an extended Q&A session at the end, and we can kind of go through all of these questions that people might have. How does that sound?
Let's do it. I'm here. Listen, I'm yours today. I'm totally, I belong to you and all of the hundreds of folks that are on here right now. So let's do it. All right. So right now you should be able to see
Fantastic.
my
Okay.
screen, right? And if you do, on my screen, you should see a young woman with a teardrop running down her cheek. Do you see that? Roy says, why the tears? David says, yes, yes, yes. Angela, Gary, yes. Sarah, yes. All right. Andrew says, yes. All right. Perfect. Well, the reason why there's a teardrop, right, is how many people have had obstacles in their lives before? How many people have had tragedy? How many people have had situations where things haven't gone correctly before? How many people have had just like these periods where it seems like nothing goes right for you? Like no matter how hard you try something, it just does not work out. I was talking to a buddy of mine this morning, and he says, I've just been trying this thing, internet marketing and him just trying to start his business, and he's just had like obstacle after obstacle and after obstacle, and he's seeing everyone else being able to make money with this thing, and he's seeing everyone else having results, and he's wondering and he's questioning himself, like, what is wrong with me, right? And Roy says sometimes it seems the harder you try, the harder it gets. Absolutely. Uh, yes, I have. Very disheartening. And has David put in rubbish internet marketing. You know what, David? I felt exactly that way years ago. Exactly. I'm glad you put that in there. All right. Okay. So why I have the teardrops here is because, like many of you that are listening, I also grew up with a lot of heartache and pain and just obstacles. I actually grew up here in the U.S. in a housing project called Father Panic Village, and this was back during the 80s, right? The days of crack cocaine and heroin, and it was just not the best place to be. There was a lot of violence, there was a lot of drug use, there was just a lot of insaneness that I wouldn't wish upon anyone, right? And that was my reality growing up as a kid. Uh, as a teenager growing up, it wasn't the most positive place to be, right? It wasn't the most positive place to be. And then, in addition to that, I was born with something called sickle cell anemia, which is a chronic disease that really affects your blood cells. And what happens is, if you notice the blood cells up here, right? They're round and nice and just plump and juicy the way that they're supposed to be because they flow a lot easier through the veins and your capillaries and your blood vessels. But when you have sickle cell anemia, what happens is there's periods in your life where you have what's known as sickle cell crisis. And those round blood cells, they turn into the sickled shape, hence the name sickle cell anemia, and it makes it extremely difficult for your blood cells to travel through your body. And what happens is they end up getting blocked, and it causes like this traffic jam, and that causes an extreme amount of pain, right? It's an extreme. It's like the pain is like nothing that you've ever felt before. They say that I'm not a female. I've never been pregnant before, but they say that the pain is worse than giving birth. And there's no cure for this, and the only way to treat the pain is with high levels, high dosages of extremely strong medications like morphine and Demerol and Dilaudid and things like that. All right, so I was born with this disease and actually not expected to live past the age of 17. I've been in the hospital many, many, many times, probably about 200 different times in my life, to be honest with you. There's been times when I would spend weeks in the hospital, 4, 5, 3, 2, 6 weeks. I've had to learn how to walk all over again. I've had to learn how to use my right arm all over again. And there was a time when I was in the hospital. I was about 12 years old, and I was in the hospital at Yale New Haven Hospital. And I hear my mom and my doctor talking outside of my hospital room door. And the doctor says, Mrs. Cohen, in a very matter-of-fact voice, he says, Mrs. Cohen, you shouldn't expect your son Ty to live past the age of 17 years old. He says this disease is going to kill him, right? Because the life expectancy of someone with sickle cell anemia traditionally is not that. You don't live to be that old, right? So I'm listening to this, and these tears just come. I mean, I'm just bawling in tears, and at the same time, I'm trying to keep my composure because I don't want my mom and my doctor to know that I hear what they're talking about, that I overheard them, right? So at 12 years old, imagine you being given some death sentence and someone telling you that you're not going to live much longer, right? So that was my reality, okay? Not good, says Ahsoka. Thank you. Um, yeah, absolutely, it wasn't good, right? So I've got these two things. I grew up in the ghetto, grew up with sickle cell anemia, and then on top of that, out of the 7 children, me and my sister are the only two that were born with sickle cell anemia. It's something that's inherited, right? My sister died from it when I was 12. So a few months after I got out of hospital, my sister, who was in her 20s, ended up dying from this disease. So now I'm really not expecting the best for my life. I'm expecting that either I'm going to get killed because that's what was happening to a lot of my friends that were in my neighborhood, right? Because of the drug use and the violence, there was a lot of death and things like that. Or if this disease was going to take my life. That was my reality. So either way, I'm thinking I'm not going to live past 17. I'm definitely not going to live past 20. All right. And I didn't think much of my life until two very important events took place. And sometimes, you know what, we're looking for this one thing to take place in our life. We're looking for this one reason why we need to do more, to be more, to have more. And oftentimes there's several things that take place in the course of our lives that help us to grow and to help us to really become who we are. And sometimes we don't get that until we're older, right? Sometimes we get it when we're younger. Sometimes we don't get it until we're older. The first thing was riding home one day with my dad. We're coming back from church, and although my mom and my dad were separated, my father was he was very visible in my life. And every weekend he would come by and get me and my younger brother, and he would make us go to church with him on Sundays, right? And I wasn't too thrilled about going to church every Sunday with him, but this one Sunday we're riding back home from church, and in the back seat of my dad's car I see this book, and I see a book by a guy by the name of Les Brown. And at this time I'm about 17 years old, right? So this is the time when I was supposed to not be here anymore. And I see this book, and it was one of Les Brown's first books. Who here is familiar with Les Brown? Right? Who here is familiar with Les? And I promise you, I'm going to get to the point in just a moment. All right, yes, Les is the man. Preston says, Angela says yes. Asoki, yes. Roy, yes. Paul, Goodwin, Martin, Gary. All right, great, 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 great. Awesome. So I see this book by Les Brown, and it was my first experience with personal development. Like, I was an avid reader. Like, I loved reading, and I would read anything I could get my hands on as a kid. And even still now, I've got hundreds and hundreds of books. And the reason why I was such a reader was because when I would have my sickle cell anemia crisis and I would be in the hospital for 2 and 3 weeks as a kid, my mom, as a coping mechanism, she would give me comic books so that I can get my mind off the pain, right? So I would sit here and I would read these comic books. So I see this book in my dad's back seat, and I'm starting to flip through it. We had a 10-minute ride from church to our home, and I'm flipping through it, and I'm seeing in it where Les is talking about, you can be anything you want to be. Don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. Like, this was the big one for me. What you see on your screen right now, don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. All right? And I'm getting a little bit emotional right now just thinking about this, thinking back to it, because this really, really, really did something for me right here, to be honest with you. And I had never, ever heard anything like this. I had never seen it. He says, you have more power in you than you believe you do. So I'm flipping through this and I'm seeing this, and guess what I did? What do you think a 17-year-old would do when he sees this stuff for the first time, right? You get exposed to this type of a book. What do you think I did? Let's see who gets it first. Uh, let's see. Your early life is a heart-wrenching story. Reddit, says Roy. Stem cell transplant now used to cure sickle cell anemia. Yeah, Howard, that's true, but it only works for some folks. Thank you for that. I read the entire book, says Gail. Took the book. Jamila, you're absolutely right. I actually stole the book from my dad's back seat, and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that. My dad actually passed away. So Dad, if you're looking down on me, trust me, it was worth it. Me taking that book was the best thing ever. So I ended up taking a book. And then, that night, I ended up staying up that night till 4 in the morning reading the entire book cover to cover. And I saw other things by Lust that he said. He says, when life knocks you down, try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. All right. And then I saw other phrases like, accept responsibility for your life. Know that it is you who will get you where you want to go, no one else. All right. So with that, I knew that I had to get out of the environment that I was. I didn't know how I was going to do it. Sometimes we don't have to know how. We don't have to know the step by steps. I think that's the biggest mistake that we make. I think the biggest mistake that we make in life is having to know how we're going to do everything. And sometimes we just have to have the faith to know that it's going to work out. So I ended up trying to start a business because I said, if I need to get out of this environment, maybe I need more money. I had no experience. I had no business individuals in my neighborhood. I had no one else who had a business in that area that I could look up to. And there was no YouTube. There was no Google, right? So I tried to start a business, and I failed miserably at that the first time, all right? First time. And it wasn't until I came across a few things, and one of those things was this system, which is publishing ebooks to Amazon for them to share with you, that my life totally changed. I mean, it did like a 360, okay, and on all levels, right? I ended up, this is my wedding here where my wife, we had got married. Now we've been married for 11 years this past August. All right, so this is my beautiful wife, Melida here. That's me right there. All right, and this is my dad. My dad is no longer with us. Like I said, my dad had an amazing work ethic. He wasn't an educated man, didn't graduate high school, but he had this incredible work ethic. So at any one point, he worked 3 jobs. He was a security guard. His main job was a construction worker, so they built high-rise buildings, right? But he was also a construction. He was a construction worker, a security guard, and a taxi driver. And while he was driving cab or taxi, one night a couple of guys tried to rob him, and they ended up shooting him. So he's no longer with us uh, right now, but he ended up being paralyzed from that, and then later on dying from that, which is why he's in the why he's yeah. I passed the 7 year age of being married. Absolutely, David. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're right. I don't know, man. It might be a 17-year itch, but I'm really blessed here. So now, like this is like I said, we just had our 11th anniversary, and last year what we did was we flew everyone, all of our family members, there's about 40 people out to Puerto Rico, and we renewed our vows. This is our entire family. This is me, my wife, our beautiful daughter Maya, our beautiful daughter Summer. This is like, she's an amazing chick right here, this girl. She's done magazine covers, commercials, everything. This is my son Davon. He's a major basketball player. This is my son Tyler. They're all extremely smart honor roll students, right? A and B students. But my life has done a total 360. Like if you had asked me back when I was 17 if I would ever imagine that I would be flying my family out to Puerto Rico and renewing my vows after being married for 10 years and just being able to afford this type of lifestyle, I would have thought you were crazy, right? And that's what Amazon has allowed me to do. And I want to share this to you. But I wanted to pre-frame it by showing you what's possible, right? Now, I'm not showing you this to brag, but I'm showing you to really instill with you how you can make a difference. Like if I can do this, you can absolutely do it. I didn't graduate college. All right, I barely graduated high school. I failed English not once but twice. Here we are, we're vacationing in Jamaica. Here we are, we're in Hollywood. I mean, we travel about 8 times a year, and it's all Amazon pays for this. All right, this system that I'm going to show you pays for our travel. Here's my daughter Summer. This is her first magazine cover that she ever appeared on. Here she is. She actually does a lot of beauty pageants and cheerleading competitions. She holds the highest title for her age division in North Carolina, in our state. All right, so she's the Little Miss Princess of North Carolina. All right, here I get to meet a lot of celebrities. Again, it's because they're Amazon, right? Just being able to afford this thing. Who do you guys think this is? Who knows who this is without looking at the name? All right, Ahsoka says I do. All right, so I mean, we just get there's so much, right? Here we are, we're driving luxury cars and out in Vegas here. I'm taking flight lessons, helicopter flight lessons. Um, I take yep, David, I totally agree with you, and it's all about I'm showing you what you can do. All right, so uh, just stay open-minded here, right? Now here we are, my children. Here's something that's really funny, right? When you fly first class, what do the pilots do? Like if you bring your family with you, they invite their children up into the cockpit. Like I don't think that's safe. Like I don't really think that's now when I was flying coach, they never invited the children up to first class. There's so many things that change when you start to get money. Right? When I was living in the ghetto, I couldn't get a credit card past a $400 limit. Now, American Express, they'll give me a credit card with a $500,000 limit, a black card. They'll give you. So it's insane what happens when you have money, and this is what will happen for you if you do what I teach you in this presentation. Now, out of everything that I've accomplished, right? Out of everything that this system has allowed me to accomplish, this is my most precious moment right here. All right, and who thinks they can tell me why? All right. The reason why is because this is my mom. My mom just turned 76 years old on the 19th. All right. 76 years old. And one of her goals is always, yes, David, my mom is still alive. Yes, yes. As a matter of fact, she's coming down here. She still lives in Connecticut. She's coming down here to North Carolina tonight. I have to go pick her up from the airport. All right. But one of the things that I'm most grateful for is being able to fly my mom around the world and take her to all of these places, right? This is the Dominican Republic here. And like, she's never been able to afford to travel before outside of the United States. Hell, she hasn't been able to travel within the United States, right? And I'm the first person in my family to be able to get her a passport, and like her passport has so many stamps that it's incredible. And again, this is because of the opportunity that I've been given using this system, this Amazon publishing system that I'm going to share with you. All right. So again, I just wanted to show you guys that really quickly. What I want to teach you now is how to partner with Amazon.com to create an instant stream of monthly recurring revenue without having to personally sell anything ever. All right. Yeah, absolutely. You know, she's, thank you. All right. Um, you know, she's proud of me, but here's the thing, Leah. Once you take your mom on 6 or 7 trips, they get used to it. So now she's got like her list of where she wants to go. She wants to hit Italy and France and like she's got this list, but it's awesome. Okay. Uh, the 2 events, right? The first event, Jim, was um, the Les Brown book, right? And then the second event was being turned on to Amazon Kindle Publishing and getting this, all right? Okay. Yes, David. We are working on a replay. Absolutely. So let's get into it. Who wants to learn how to do this? How to partner with Amazon.com to create an instant stream of monthly recurring revenue without having to personally sell anything. This is why I never got into like, what do you call it? Network marketing or anything, because I never wanted to get in front of people and have to sell. All right. So first, let's talk about what is Kindle. All right, before we begin, let's talk about what exactly is a Kindle and why is it so important to anyone who is looking for an easy, secure, long-lasting residual way to make money. Okay. The Kindle is a portable ebook reader. Who here has a Kindle, whether it's the Kindle device or an app? I just want to take a poll really quickly. If you have a Kindle device or an app, let me know. All right, the Kindle is a portable ebook reader developed by Amazon.com that allows its users to be able to shop for, download, browse, and then read ebooks, newspapers, magazines, blogs, reports, and other digital media. This device right here has single-handedly changed the publishing industry. All right, let's see who has one. Wow, everyone has one. This is insane. So let's see. Clea says I have the app. Ron says Kindle app. Yes, I have one. Andrew, Rudy, Jim. Now I want you to pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. How many people have a Kindle device and how many people have an app or both or whatever? All right. Me says Chris, David, Jill, Marge. I hope I have that right. Enza, Gail, Angela, Jill, Jemiah, Paul. Asoki, Les, Sandra, Valerie, Jim, Rudy, Andrew, Paul, Victoria, who else is this? Ron, we've got a few Pauls on here. Victoria, Martin has both, Millions with Kindle, and Roy has Kobo. Yes, says Bill, Paul, Deborah. I have 2 Kindles, love them, says Joe. Me too, Joe, I have a ton of them as well. Not the actual Kindles, but I have tablets with the Kindle app. 3 says Lee, yes. So if you notice, right, about 95% of the individuals that are right now on this webinar have either the Kindle device or the Kindle app, all right? So do you see how powerful that is? This is one of the reasons why it's so easy to make money with this system, because everyone, like Amazon is just brilliant in the fact that they've got just millions and hundreds of millions of people that have access to either the Kindle device or the app. Have you ever thought about that before? Think about that. Have you ever thought about the number of people that actually have access to this device? All right. So, okay, yes, I agree. It's very interesting. Okay, so let's move on. Now, my goal is to show you how publishing ebooks to Amazon's Kindle can be highly profitable, easy, and an extremely long-lasting way to generate income. Now, here's the thing, guys. I'm going to make some mistakes with this. I'm going to have some ands and some buts. I'm not a professional speaker. I'm not a professional presenter. I don't care to be. I love doing what I'm doing, and that is publishing ebooks to Amazon. And I share this with people from time to time. This is not something that I do all the time. As a matter of fact, I haven't uh, shared this information with anyone outside of my group since the earlier part of this year. Sarah asked me, I don't know, maybe a couple months ago, maybe 2 months ago, 6 months, 6 weeks ago, so I can't remember, if I would come on and share this with you folks. And I said, let me find out and let me see if I can get a date. And David says you're not doing too badly. Thank you. I'm excited by your excitement. That's what it is, David. I see everyone that's on here, hundreds of folks, and I love it. Um, and I said, okay, let's do it. I'm also going to be presenting this at Armin Morin. How many people are familiar with Armin Morin? All right. He's doing an event, a live event, so I'm going to be doing that. You guys got to pray for me because I'm not really too good with live events, right? So I'm going to be doing that. But after that, that's it this year. After this event and this webinar in Armin's is it. I'm not sharing this anywhere else because I love it, the fact that I can do this. I can make money from home. I can make money without having to go out. And I love making money without having to, have this huge team or anything else. So now there's been a shift that's taken place, and it's actually to the point where people are buying and consuming written material in the form of ebooks more than ever before, and this trend will only continue. Amazon.com is now selling more ebooks for Kindle than hardcover books. In fact, Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos says that for every 100 hardcover books Amazon.com has sold, the company has sold twice that amount in Kindle books. All right. How many people, I'm going to ask you a question really quickly because I want you to get this. And there's a method to my madness with these questions, all right? If you get this, then you'll really get the concept. How many people remember the format that we used to listen to our music in the very first place, all right? How many people remembers how we used to listen to music? Walkman says, wow, Jimmy, I haven't heard that in a while. Vinyl records says Jenny. LP says Angela. Records says Jill. 8-track. It was called record, says it's okay. Transistor radio, Gal, that's nice. I love that. So let's go back. The first format was what? Vinyl records. Who said that? We had transistor radio, right? And then vinyl records, LPs, right? Says Joe. And then after records, what was next? Then we moved on to 8 tracks, right? Yep. And then after 8 tracks, what came next? Then cassette, says Paul. Right. Says, wow, the questions are flying, the answers are flying in here. Now then from cassettes, we went to what? CD. And now we listen to our music primarily in what form? What's next? MP3s, they're digital, right? Do you think we'll ever go back to the point where we listen to our music in the form of a vinyl record or a cassette or an 8-track? Absolutely. SACDs, I have no clue what that is. It's okay. Well, yeah, vinyl might be getting a bit popular, but that's only with enthusiasts, right, and collectors. Now, the publishing industry has taken the same route. Remember, people used to read books, like physical books, and that was all you could get information in the form of if you wanted the book. But now, digital books, ebooks are outselling physical books 2-to-1, 3-to-1 in some cases, and it's never going to go back. And again, it's because of this device, the Kindle device, and Amazon.com. All right. Now, there's 7 billion people that have either a Kindle device, a mobile device with the Kindle app on it, or some type of a mobile device in general. And what's beautiful about the Kindle app is you can install it on any of these devices here and instantly go in and visit the Amazon Marketplace, purchase, download, and be on your way to reading an ebook in seconds. Literally in less than 5 minutes. So if Sarah said to me, Ty, I just read a great book, it's Think and Grow Rich, the next chapter, you should go in and pick it up. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to go in, I'm going to pick up my digital device, I'm going to go in and purchase that ebook and instantly be on my way. All right, so if you have any of these devices, you can go in and download that app. Now, this digital shift in publishing platform that Amazon has provided is making some people extremely wealthy and at the least financially free with very little effort. Here's 3 examples. The first is a young lady by the name of Amanda Hocking. Now, Amanda is in her 20s, right? She's in her late 20s now, uh, and she's from Minnesota, here in the U.S. She's made over $2 million publishing stories to Kindle, right? Over $2 million publishing stories to Kindle. And by her own admission, she's not a great writer. I'm not a great writer. I'm not a writer at all. As a matter of fact, I don't write any of my books, and I'll show you how to get your content created without writing them, all right? Uh, 2 million. As a matter of fact, this works so well that Forbes, one of the most highly credible publications that you can find out there, wrote up a story on this entire process and Amanda, and it was titled "Who Wants to Be a Kindle Millionaire?" All right, Amanda Hocking, the 26-year-old, has reportedly become a millionaire by self-publishing, and then it goes on to talk about Amazon Kindle publishing on Amazon Kindle. All right. The second individual, here's another example of someone who's doing extremely well with it. Stephen Lever. He's over in the UK. All right. He sells about 2,000 ebooks a day. All right. 2,000 at 99 cents. And think about that. Even if he just sold them for 99 cents, that would be $2,000 a day. $60,000 a month. Okay. How many people could get along with 60? He's actually doing. I'm doing a little less than he is. All right, but I'm gonna beat him. But how many people could live with $60,000 a month? And again, he has no huge staff. He's doing this. Angela says I could manage. All right. Okay, so there you go. Now, the third individual is a gentleman by the name of John Locke, who became the first person to sell 1 million Kindle ebooks, and he did it in less than 1 year with just 9 titles. And this, again, is according to Amazon. So in addition to these folks, there are hundreds, if not thousands of people that are making thousands and tens of thousands of dollars selling content on Kindle. Now it's your turn. All right, you're at ground level of what is being called a new age diamond mine. And I want to show you some of the money that I've been able to make just playing around with publishing ebooks before I created the streamlined system for doing it. And I say playing around because when I first got invited to become a beta tester for the Amazon Kindle platform, it took me about 2 months before I really became serious with this. It took me about 2 months, right? And the reason why was because I had shiny object syndrome. I was chasing too many things. How many people are doing that right now? How many people are chasing multiple things? Like you've got your hands everywhere. You're trying YouTube marketing, you're trying Google AdWords, you're trying this, you're trying that, right? That's where I was at. And I had this real opportunity in front of my face and I didn't even pay attention to it because I was just everywhere. Both hands raised, says Jemiah. Yes, that's me, says John. Guilty, says Valerie. Valerie, that was my sister's name. I love that. I admit it. Yes, I am, says Andrew. Crazy, yes. Everything, everywhere, sad, says Ron. That's me too, says Charles. No on track. What I do for binary option account, says David. Me too. Over and over, says John. And that's the thing. So here's another thing. Remember I told you sometimes in life we have. Do you guys mind if I share some life lessons with you? Some things that have really worked with me before. All right. So here's the other thing that really made a change in my life, and that was I remember this day as clear as day. And I said, I am not going to work on more than 2 things at a time. I went in, I cleared my email box, I unsubscribed from just a ton of newsletters except for mine and Sarah's. Don't unsubscribe from my emails, and don't unsubscribe from Sarah's because Sarah shares a ton of stuff. And I said, you know what? I'm only going to focus on no more than 2 things. When I did that, and if anyone here follows me on Facebook, I created this mantra, and every day I would go in and I would post on Facebook either a quote or just this saying alone. And that saying was stay focused. And a lot of my followers, I've got over 5,000 followers, they thought that I was putting it up there for them, which I was, but it was a reminder to myself. Stay focused. Definiteness of purpose, says Preston, right? Think and grow rich. There you go. All right. So please, I hate to deviate from this a little bit, but if you get that, I mean, that is just, it's so simple, but it just works. Stay focused and just give things time, right? I'm a firm believer that everything works. Almost every single internet marketing program that you can find works out there. You just have to give it time to work. I used to be very cynical. I used to be very skeptical. Once I changed my attitude about how I looked at things, and once I learned to give things a try and stick with it past a week, things really changed for me. All right. Again, I don't want to turn this into some type of motivational seminar or not, but I really want you guys to get that. I think that, I'm a big believer in sharing stuff that works for me with other people because I didn't have that when I was coming up, all right? And I'm really blessed right now in my life. I've been really blessed over the last couple of years. So I need to share my blessing with you guys. All right, so now let me get back now. Let me get off my soapbox. Again, I'm sorry for that, but let's take a look at some of the money that I've made here, all right? Now, here's one of the first checks that I got from Amazon. It was in the amount of $2,297.30. Now, sadly enough, again, man, this check came in and I was like so blindsided about everything else that I was trying to chase that I didn't even see the potential in this, right? And it wasn't until the next month when I went from $2,297.30 to wham, $2,873.13. Now that's a 25% increase right there. And I didn't do anything differently from month to month, meaning I didn't go in and publish more books. I didn't do anything else. Okay? What do you think accounts for the difference there? I didn't do anything else. And then the next month, again, right? Now, when this one came in, I kind of got it, but it wasn't until this point I said, okay, wow, I made a 25% difference and I didn't do anything differently. From this month, where am I at here? From this month to this month, I didn't do anything different in my account. Now, this month is when the light bulb went off. My next check was in the amount of $4,462.53. And I said, you know what? I've got something here. I said, I need to start doing something differently. I said, I need to publish more ebooks. Because if I've made what I've made so far off of the few ebooks, and at that time, I think I had about 3 or 4. I can't remember what it was. Right? But I said, if I'm doing so well with this up with just a few ebooks, I need to do more. Right? Anything that you have in your life right now that's working well for you, simple principle again, do more of it. If you're doing something for your wife, gentlemen, and she loves it, do more of it. Ladies, if you're doing something for your husband and he loves that, do more of it. Life is that simple. So I did more of what I was doing. I published more ebooks. And then the next month, I went from $4,462.53 to bam, $8,403.84. Now at this time, I'm excited. I'm dancing around the kitchen because I've never found anything else in my search and all of my craziness of trying to find different opportunities, right? That actually grew this fast, and that was part of something that was really credible, something really reputable, Amazon. All right, so I started testing different titles. I really, really got focused. This was the point where I really got focused. And I said, I'm not screwing around with anything else. There was one other program that I was doing, but I said it's this and the other program until I get these things 100%. I'm not saying that you have to leave everything else alone forever. Just leave those other things alone until you get that one or those two things working. And then once you get those working, then it's okay to go and get the other thing. Right now, I take this Amazon money and I've got 2 app companies. I've got a publishing company. I mean, I've created other businesses now, right? But it wasn't until I got one business right that I moved on to the next, and then on to the next. Okay. Um, Bernetta, how many pages? I don't. My ebooks are no more than 50 pages. Okay. Uh, Yeah, David says he made $500 for the whole year. Maybe you don't really see how good that really is. Yes, because you're too close to it. So $5,000, David, it looks like you said, not 500, I'm sorry. All right, so then, now I get to the point where in just 1 month alone, I'm at $30,000 in deposits. Now I'm doing between $40,000 to $50,000 a month. Okay. Here, 23,000 just from my US ebook sales. 5,000 from my UK ebook sales. I'm sorry, my Canadian ebook sales. All right. 400 and something from my UK ebook sales. Right. And the reason why is because Amazon makes this entire system easy for you. So what makes this different from everything else? What makes this different? What makes it different is the fact that, number one, it's a real business. Okay. Um, Number two, you're joining forces with a real multi-billion-dollar, globally recognized brand, and you're tapping into a 7 billion person market. Why do you think from month to month, especially those early months, why do you think, I want to ask you a serious question. If you get this and if you understand it, then you totally get this concept and you see the possibilities. Why do you think I went from 2,000 to $2,800 one month to the other month and I didn't do anything differently in my account? What do you think accounted for that? Good reviews, teamwork, says Roy. Review says compounding, harder work, exposure. Paul, great Paul. That's a good answer. Royalties, advertising, position on Amazon. That's another great question. Answer Martin. Your books picked up momentum. Ahsoka, yes. When you get a few sales, word of mouth. David, yes. Kindle's use growing. Ken, yes. Absolutely. So think about it. What happened was, and what continues to happen month to month after month, I continue to see my sales increase month after month. And that's because more people are now getting into the marketplace, right? More people are getting Kindle devices. More people are downloading the Kindle app to their mobile device, their cell phone, their tablet, whatever it might be, their desktop, their laptop, right? So the marketplace is getting bigger. So think about that. Let's say if you have a product in the store and your store can hold 10,000 people and you've got one product and initially in your store there's 100 people and then the next day there's 500 people and then the next day there's 1,000 people and then the next day 5,000 and then the next day 10,000. Do you think you're going to sell more of that product as each day goes on and as more people enter that store? Absolutely, right? So that's how this works. So now more people are getting exposed to uh, the Kindle device. More people are downloading that app, which means more sales for me. Now, this is the perfect time for you to be part of this. And who can guess why? Why do you think this is the perfect year for you to get started with your Kindle business? I mean, this one is really obvious. Holiday time, says Jamila. Absolutely. All right. What happens during holiday time? Right? What happens during the holidays, right, is people get Kindle devices, holidays, and gift cards, says Lucretia. Uh, People get Kindle devices as gifts. People get gift cards. And Amazon is smart. You can even give Kindle gift cards. I just gave a $75 gift card to my Infusionsoft rep the other day, and he loved it. People are getting iPhones. People are getting tablets, right? And what do they need to do once they get those devices? What do? They fill them up with content, right? They fill them up with content. I got my mother-in-law. I got my mother-in-law last Christmas. We got her 2 Christmases ago, I think. Last Christmas, we got her a Kindle device for Christmas, and it was attached to my credit card because I bought it off Amazon with my credit card under my account. And she gets this Kindle device, and what does she do? She loves reading, right? She starts to buy ebooks. Well, she didn't know that you had to pay for them, so she starts downloading them, and of course, my card is getting charged. So she's got, before I know it, she's got 30 ebooks on her device. So she fills them up. So people want to fill these things up. So this is the perfect time for you to get started. All right. The third reason why is it's a system that's easier to make money with month after month after month. So let's take a look. I've done a lot of things right, and I've done a lot of things wrong, right? After doing this for nearly 5 years, I discovered that no matter what the topic, there are a few key things that you must do in order to be successful with this. Now you want to write these things down, okay? I discovered how to pick highly sought after topics that sell like crazy. Like this is crucial. Learning how to pick the right topics. I'm going to show you how to do this. The second thing is I learned how to price my ebooks so that they generate the most profit. Don't be fooled by sales. You want the most profit, okay? Because if you might sell 100 copies, but not make $1,000. I'd rather make $1,000 and only sell 50 copies, or so than sell 100 copies and not make 1,000. All right. So price point is crucial. I'm going to give you the price points that sell the best and that generate the most profit. And I also discovered a secret element to add to your titles that can double, triple, and even quadruple your ebook sales. I also discovered how to use this to build a huge mailing list that you can continue to sell to and make money from. I mean, just day after day after day. Okay. Now, Anthony Robbins, who here knows who this guy is? This is another thing. Like we talked about celebrities, right? Anthony's the man. Yep. Okay, says Angela, Kathy, Preston, I do, Catherine, Tony Robbins, my hero, says Mary. Yeah, me too. Lucretia, I believe I've heard of him, says it's okay. I got to hang out with Tony for I call him Anthony, like we're good friends, right? Hey Anthony, but Tony for about a half a day. A good friend of mine who also knows him, he was in New Jersey, and he says, Ty, if you want to meet Tony, you should come up here. So we flew up there, met him, and got to hang out with him for a while. This guy is a giant. I'm 6 feet tall, and he was towering over me like a foot and a half. And this is his wife, Sage. And we got to hang out for half a day. And he, one of the things that he said was, he says, Ty, if you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results you want and copy what they do, and you'll achieve the same results. All right. And this couldn't be any more true. You find someone that's doing what you want to do, and then you copy them. So let me show you how to get similar results that I'm getting and how to get those results fast. So I discovered this stuff the hard way. You get to cheat and get the easy way. The hard way that I experienced was I wrote the content myself. All right. I hated that because it took me forever, and I'm not great at writing. Like I said, I failed English 101 not once but twice. Don't tell my wife I said that, because she doesn't like when I tell people that. But it's the honest to God's truth. I spent weeks trying to get started with this. Okay. The other thing is I hired cover designers, writers, and outsourcers from sites that ripped me off because I didn't know what I was doing initially. All right. I ended up losing a lot of money, and more importantly, I ended up losing a lot of time. The money you can get back, the time you can't. That's why being able to follow and model someone else's proven system is so crucial. Okay. Amazon nearly banned my account just as I got to the point of making $2,000 a month in sales. Now, here's something that I want to point out to you. All right. When you start this, keep in mind that this is a real business. It's a business that can generate you tons of money, month after month after month after month for years. Please treat it as a real business and do not do anything to jeopardize it. You only want to publish high quality content. All right. Quality stuff. You don't, and I'll show you how to get quality content as well. You don't want to publish anything that's that's shady. You don't want to publish anything that is like PLR material, private label rights material, or any of that stuff. All right. I'd hate for you to get to the point where you're making thousands of dollars a month and then you try to take a shortcut. So don't do that. Okay. Now, simply because I didn't, this is the hard way, because I didn't have access to the roadmap that you now have access to. So now, do you want the way that guarantees that you won't ever make any of these mistakes? All right, let's see a yes, yes, yes in here. And I'll give you the 3 secrets. The first secret is, number 1, I can make more money in 1 month selling ebooks on Amazon than I can in a year selling regular products. And it gets addictive. You get to the point where you're going to be checking your account every time, as often as you could. Like I used to check my sales 7 or 8 times a day. I used to wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, not to go to use the bathroom, but to log on the computer and check my Amazon sales, and I'd be like, yes, another sale came in, and another one. All right. The second secret is I personally don't have to write, drive traffic, or sell anything, which is a big plus because I hate having to write. I don't like worrying. about paying for traffic or handling order taking or delivery or support or anything. All right, and the third secret is it's a two-step process. I only need a small amount of money to make this work, and it takes about $100 to start. Amazon does it all. All right, so allowing Amazon to handle the traffic generation and sales and support is just smart business. They've got a well-oiled machine in place that will passively drive massive amounts of traffic to your ebooks and generate sales for you. Right? That is if you set up everything the right way. Amazon works hard to make you money. Why would they work so hard to make you money? Why do you think that is? Why does Amazon want you to make money? I mean, they've got things like the buy now with one-click option in place. They've got the customers who brought this item also brought in place. They'll send you emails. Why do you think that is? Because the more money you make, it's a win-win. All right? Oh, Paul, that's a great response, Paul. All right. The first reason is because the more money you make, the more money they make, right? So it's in their best interest. But Paul just said something brilliant. He says because they need more content. Who remembers what Amazon's goal was when they first got started many, many, many years ago? Who remembers what their initial goal was? Let's see. Their initial goal was to sell books. Preston, you're right. To become the biggest bookstore, Martin. Yes. All right? The biggest bookstore. And they figured, they did something brilliant and they said, how can we do that? How can we become the biggest bookstore? Oh, I've got an idea. In order to become the biggest bookstore, what do you need? You need content. So they came up with this brilliant idea of creating what's known as the Kindle Direct publishing platform. And they said, we'll let anyone who has content come in. Gordon, yes, you can use a pen name. Anyone that has content to come in, all right? And by doing that, now we have a ton of content, and we now become the world's largest bookstore. Okay. All right, so let's continue. Now, all you need is to be successful with this is a little bit of research to find an idea. All right, about $100 to hire someone to write the ebook for you using the two-step process and hiring templates that I give you, and then a desire to repeat the process. Each ebook becomes another passive income stream that will continue selling for years and years and years to come without you ever having to do anything. So let's go over this three-step process. Step one is to use the Google Keyword Planner to find a hot in-demand topic and come up with a killer, all right, title. Okay. So write that down. Step one, Google Keyword Planner. Write that down. Let me know when you have that. Step one, use the Google Keyword Planner. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So you'll go into google.com and type in Google Keyword Planner. Don't do it now. Just follow along on my screen. I'll show you everything. All right. And then once you type that in the search box, you should see like the first and second results should be the Google Keywords Planner. Click onto that. And then you'll see a box that comes up like this. Looks similar to this. And you want to select this area where it says search for new keywords using a phrase, a website, or a category. And then here's what I like to select, right? When I'm doing this type of keyword research, I like to select all locations. Why am I selecting all locations? And I'm asking you guys these questions because I want to make sure you get this, all right? I don't want it to be one of these webinars where things are just vaguely said and you don't understand the process. I want you to get this. I've been on that side of the screen and I don't like it. All right, all locations because your books are going to sell globally. They're going to sell across the planet. Amazon is everywhere. Jim says, please show the Google slide again so I can copy it down. Jim, you should see it. Let me just go back really quickly. You're just gonna type in right here, Google Keyword Planner. Google Keyword Planner. You got that? All right, so now select all locations. The other thing is you want to select all languages. Now you might think, right, that you would only select English, but you want to select all languages, and I'm gonna share why. This is the type of stuff nobody else, like your competitors, they're not getting this stuff. This is why you will have the advantage when you're publishing ebooks. Okay. So select all languages, and I'll tell you why a couple minutes from now. And then you want to select not just Google, but Google and search partners. And then you want to also select show broadly related ideas. Show broadly related ideas. All right, so we got that? Okay, cool, perfect. Okay, Roy, you don't need a landing page for this at all. You don't need, this is the beautiful thing about Amazon publishing. You don't need a website or any of that stuff. All right, then you're gonna hit get ideas. Now, first, before you do that, you're gonna type in your keyword or your phrase, whatever it is that you're considering publishing an ebook about, you're gonna type that here. So for me, in this example, I put in dreams interpretation, and then I set the criteria, and I hit get ideas. Once you do that, bam, what happens is Google, not only will they show you how many searches your phrase or your keyword is getting, but it'll also bring up similar phrases and keywords that people are searching for, right? And it'll show you what the search volume has been for the last month for those keywords. Like for example, meaning of dreams, 18,000 people searched for that phrase within the last 30 days. Dream meaning, 2,900. Dreams meaning, 2,400. Dream meanings, 1,900. Dreams and their meanings, 590. Meaning of dream, 480. Now, what I like to do is, over the years, I've done this research, right? And I found that if I can get my combined search volume, and pay attention to this because this is crucial to the amount of success that you're going to have. If I can get my combined search volume for the phrase that I'm entering here, and for similar phrases, right, to be between 10,000 to 100,000, then I'm in good shape. So does everyone have that? Between 10,000 and 100,000, all right? Let me know if everyone understands that, and then I'll continue. Okay, yes, says Angela. Roy says okay. Michael says yes. Yes, says Jill. Sure, got it. I not sure. Say again, please. Got it. Okay, yes, got it. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Okay, great. All right, so uh, one or two individuals missed it, so I'll say it again. You want your combined search volume for the phrase that you entered here, and remember, this is the phrase that you're considering publishing your ebook around, right? To be between 10,000 to 100,000. That's after you add up your monthly search volume. And the reason why you want it to be between 10,000 to 100,000 is because I found that if it's less than 10,000, then the marketplace is just not big enough. All right, there's just not enough interest there. Right? If it's more than 100,000, then the marketplace is too big. Right? And it's just not something that you want to go in and entertain. So the universe is just too big. So does that make sense? Thanks, Ty. I really appreciate your info, says Preston. Awesome, Preston. Thank you. Yes, says David. Paul, yes. Sandra, yes. David, Neil, yes. Mel, Preston, Ron, yes, it does a lot of sense. Okay, great. So let's move on now. Now, the other thing that I love about doing my research using, when it comes to using the Google Keyword Planner, is that you can also come up with some killer ebook titles. Now, your titles are also going to have a lot to do with the amount of success. All right, I want to give you guys everything here. So your titles are also going to give you a lot of help when it comes to doing this. So take a look at some of the titles that I have highlighted in red here. Meaning of dreams, dreams and their meanings, right? Meaning of dreams, and you've got 18,000 people that are searching for that. Dreams and their meanings, like both of these would make great ebook titles. And you can even add on to these. So it would be dreams and their meanings, right, as your main title, and then subtitle could be something like how to understand what your dreams mean, right? Now, here's why this works so well, because number one, you have keywords and phrases that people are actively typing in and searching for on Google, right? And I'll show you why that's so important in my next couple of slides. Like something like this, meaning of dreams, 18,000 people typing that in, that means that there's an audience out there and they want this information. All right, so let's continue. So use this area to find your titles. Right, so one of the questions that I get is, Ty, why should I use the Google Keyword Planner to find titles? Well, the answer is if you craft your titles correctly, you increase the chances of them ranking high within both Amazon and Google search engines. So it's a double whammy, right? So ranking on both Amazon and Google will dramatically boost your sales, right? And I found that people will search on Google and on Amazon in the same manner. So if they're looking for information, they search in the same way on both platforms, right? And I'll show you two examples as to why this works so well. So Google just loves Amazon because Amazon constantly publishes new content. Amazon is a highly credible site, and Amazon is a sales platform. So Google will rank Amazon's content quicker and higher than they will just some unknown rinky-dinky site that's just been around for a month or so, or a year, right? So let's say you're searching on Amazon and you type in how to market and sell your ebook. All right, you go over to, you've got an ebook on Amazon that's titled How to Market and Sell Your Ebook. You go over to Google, right, and you type in how to market and sell your ebook, unaware that there's an ebook over here on Amazon, right? Guess what happens? Right, you've got a prospect, you've got someone who's typing this in. They're not aware that there's an ebook out there already. They type this in on Google, they hit search. Guess what happens? What do they see? The first thing they're going to see is they're going to see the paid listings here, right? And most people, they gloss over these because they know that these are paid, right? So they don't really pay much attention to these. Think about it. When you're conducting a search on Google, you know that the paid listings, people have paid to get in those positions. So you want to know what's organically ranking. And what do you see here? First page of Google, second position. You see a link to this book. Now, what makes this link stand out? I want to see if you folks really get this. All right. So let's see. David says the 5 stars, right? David and Jill. Let's see who else gets it. Wow, it's flying in here. The rating says Clea. Amazon rating says Jamila. The rating says Jim. The fact that it's Amazon says Sandra. The reviews and stars says Lynn. Absolutely. SEO and title says Paul. Amazon says Gail. Reviews, the 5-star rating. Amazon on the title. Makes sense, says Marjorie. 5-star, 5-star. It's by Amazon. It's an Amazon link. The words. So here, let's go over it because a lot of you guys have this already. A lot of the ladies are getting this. A lot of the guys have this as well. The fact that it's coming from Amazon, lots of credibility there. The fact that the phrase that this person typed in is the exact phrase that comes up here. So that's number 2. The third thing, as so many of you guys had said, is the stars, right? Like that really makes it stand out. Think about that. You're looking at this and subconsciously your eyeballs are gravitating towards these stars here. The fourth thing that stands out is the fact that it's got 47 reviews. And there's something else. There's a few more things that no one has touched on yet, right? But it has 47 reviews. Do you see that? What is this? The fifth thing is the price point. So now, guess what? You see $4.99. What does it tell you? That there's information out there that's available for sale, right? The stars are yellow. That makes them stand out. Absolutely, Dan. The sixth thing is what? What else? What else do you see? I don't think anyone has touched on this one yet. What do you see next? There's some wording here that is really powerful. Buy it now. I don't see that. In stock, says Sandra. In stock, says Deborah, Johnny, Paul. So you know that it's available. Now, what's the last thing that we see also? What's the last thing? You see the description, right? You see a bit of a description here. The excitement of the first few chapters builds an incredible momentum, a growing belief that you, dear writer, can actually do this. Now, isn't that amazing? Like, think about all of that. Now, this is why, again, this is why if you do this stuff in the way that I'm sharing with you, using the Google Keyword Planner to do your research, using that Google Keyword Planner, and there's a lot of other tools, right? Some of them I don't have time to share with you right now because I want to just cram so much into this webinar. Hope you folks don't mind, but I want to give you so much. But I mean, if you do it this way, no one can beat you. Competition, what is competition, right? So now let me give you another example. I speak today, right? Uh, Here's another ebook that's on Amazon, How to Earn Passive Income in a Lousy Economy. Let's say that you were unaware that there's an ebook out there on Amazon. You go over to Google, you type in, how to earn passive income in a lousy economy. What do you see that stands out here? What's different now? What's even more powerful here? How many SEO experts do we have on this webinar right now? Let's see, who gets it? About this listing here, what do you see? Multiple Amazon listings, says Angela. Absolutely. It's in the top spot, says Joe. Top of the page, says Barbara. It's number one. First position, says Ken. Organic, says Martin. I think you got it. I think you got it. So it's not only in the top spot, right? But it's the first, look at this, first, second, and third position out of 1.5 million results because you're tied in with Amazon. You're getting the top 3 first page listings. Andy, I love it. Andy says you hold all of the prime real estate on the page. I mean, who searches past the first 5 or 6 listings anyway, right? Isn't that awesome? All right, so let's continue here. That right there, I actually created an entire sub-course around how to do that. All right, so step 1, I hope you wrote these down, was to use the Google Keyword Planner to find hot topics and create titles. Has everyone written that down? Step 1? Okay, perfect. All right. Yes, 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 says Len. Yes, says Preston. Let's move it. All right, let's go. All right. I'm having a ball with you folks. I love it. I love this. The title enhancers. This is something else that I figured out, right? And I just put this in. I want to share this with you as well. So one of the things that I figured out, and this was just as we were going on vacation. We've been to Puerto Rico a few times, so this was one time. Actually, no, I was going on a cruise, I think, when I had first figured this out. So we were going on a cruise to the Caribbean, and I had just started playing around with some of my titles and adding different elements to the titles. And I was in a hurry, so I went in and I changed the titles on some of my ebooks. And I didn't get a chance to really check the results until near the end of the cruise because we had a spotty internet connection. And after months of testing this stuff, I found that simply adding the following elements to my titles can dramatically increase sales. Because when I got back from that cruise, I found that not only did my sales increase, but in some cases, my ebook sales doubled and they actually tripled. So do you want to see what these title enhancers are all about? Do you want to see how these things help you? Yes, says Angela. Yes, yes, says Angela. Yes, says Preston. Uh, yes, says Gail. Absolutely. Go. Yes, Gail, not a problem. All right. All right. So yes, let's go in. Now, the title enhancers that can double and triple your sales when it comes to ebooks are actually elements that answer the questions that your ebook buyers and your prospects are asking themselves in their head. All right. Title enhancers answer the questions that your ebook buyers are asking themselves in their head. So if you remember that, you're in good shape. Now let me give you a couple examples of what a title enhancer is. Okay. Pay attention to this and write this stuff down too so you can get it. How to is a title enhancer. So let's say you have an ebook. You've got 2 ebooks on Amazon side by side. One is titled Stain Your Deck Like a Professional. The other one is titled one is titled How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional. The other is titled Learn to Stain Your Deck. How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional, and the other one is titled How to Stain Your Deck. Let me tell you why this works so well. I'll give you a story. You've got a gentleman, his name is Mike, and Mike has been promising his wife that He's going to go out and stain the deck. Mike has never done this, but Mike is he's a big talker. He wants his wife to think that he's the man, so he goes, he says, yes, baby, I'm going to stain this deck for you. And it's been about 8 months now that Mike has been promising to stain the deck. His wife finally says, you know what, Mike, you've got an ultimatum here. Either you stain that deck today because it's a nice day, or you sleep on the couch until you get it done. Mike panics. He says, I got to stain this deck. He picks up his Kindle device or his iPad or his iPhone with his Kindle app on it. He goes to Amazon and he's looking for books on how to stain a deck, right? So in his head, he's saying, how do I stain the deck? How do I stain the deck? How do I stain the deck? And he goes into Amazon. He types up how to stain a deck. He sees these two titles, how to stain your deck like a professional and learn to stain your deck. Which of the two do you think will stand out to Mike? Number 1, how to stain your deck like a professional. Just put number 1 if that's the one you choose. Or learn to stain your deck. Put number 2 if you choose learn to stain your deck. Let's see here. We've got 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1. 2 says, 1 says Kathy, 2 says Lynn. Yes, James. James Move 43, yes. Dennis says 1. David says 1. 1, like a pro says. 2 says Tony. Learn 2 says Marja. All right, so here it is. All right. If you chose number 1, you are correct. All right. Number 1 has the title enhancer in it. How to. Think about it. If you get this, you have the advantage, all right, as an ebook publisher. How to is going to make you so much more money just by adding those 2 little words to your title. All right, let me give you a few more examples. All right, because your prospects asking themselves, how am I going to do this? All right. Another example, quickest way to. Right, we always want things as quickly as possible. So 21 quickest ways to make money online versus the guide to making money on the web. It answers that question. What's a quick way to do this? There's so many ways you can be creative with these titles, right? And I'm spending time on this because your titles are absolutely, absolutely important, right? Think about this. People search, when folks are searching, here's a little sidebar here I want to share with you. Men and women search Amazon differently. I think we have an equal number of men as well as an equal number of women here on this webinar. And when you have men searching on Amazon, we type in the keywords, and then when the results come up, what do we do first? What do we look at? And this is crucial that you understand this, right? Because it'll help you to understand the audience, the marketplace. What do men look at first? Men look at the cover. When women search Amazon, what do women look at primarily first? Women are a little bit analytical. They've got us a little bit, right? Women look at the title first. So, and women buy more ebooks than men in most cases, right? So your titles are, again, crucial. I like to call your titles your first line of defense, right? Your first line of defense. Think about that. So write that down. My title is my first line of defense, right? And I'll tell you your second and your third lines of defense in just a moment. And if I forget, just remind me, because those are important. I want you to get that. First is your title. So write that down. All right. So here's another example. Fastest way to. The fastest way to get your nursing degree versus Health Quad's nursing guide. All right. Here's another example. Easy ways to. Quick and easy ways to lose weight. All right. Tips to. The world's best kept tips to losing weight. So you got that? So do you understand how these title enhancers work? Now, if you get this, then again, it really, really helps you out there. Okay, yes, says Angela. All right, now let's move on. So now, going back to our trusty keyword planner, right? We take our title enhancer, and this is how you put these things together. Our title enhancer in this example is how to. And then we put how to along with the keyword or the idea or topic or phrase that we're considering publishing an ebook around. How to garden, right? We merge those together and we hit search. Now, again, Amazon is going to show us what the global monthly search volume is for our main phrase, as well as give us um, input as to some of the other phrases that people have been searching and what the search volume is for with those phrases. Now, let me ask you a quick question again. There's two columns here, global monthly searches and local monthly searches. Which of the two should you be paying attention to? Global monthly search volume or local monthly search volume? Let's see. Thanks again, Ty, says Preston. Awesome. Yes, makes a lot of sense, says Martine. Global, 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 says Valerie. Global, says Fred. David says global. Melvin. Uh, Jamila, where did you go to get this title answer to? Just go to google.com and type in keyword title. Global. Absolutely. So you want to pay attention to your global column, right? Because we're selling these ebooks globally. Does that make sense? Right? I want to make sure that you get everything that we're covering here. All right, so now, here's where I really tell who's been paying attention and who has not been paying attention. Amazon tells us for our main phrase, how to garden, there were 45.5 million searches done globally last month. Does that fit within our desired search criteria? 45 million and a half. Yes or no? No says, wow, they're flying in here. No, no, above 100,000 says Gordon. Gordon's paying attention. Yes says Melvin. Too many says Sheila. No says Johnny. John says no. Sandra says no. Benson, no. No says Barbara. Isaiah. Too many searches says Jill. No says Clot LD. I hope I have that correct. Let me know if I don't. Market too big for us, says Gal. Let's see what else. You said over 100K is too big, says Russell. Why avoid searches above 100, says Dave. The marketplace is just too big, Dave. Too broad of a subject area, says Ian. Absolutely. All right. So now, luckily for us, right, Google is on our side, and they give us some of the other phrases that people have been searching for over the last month. How to make a garden is one, and it has 201,000 global monthly searches. How to design a garden, 550,000. How to build a raised garden, 12,100. How to plant a garden, 301,000. Which of these four would be the most ideal for us to publish an ebook around, right? And actually, it's the most ideal for several reasons. So pick it out. Let's see. First, let's talk about. I'm gonna give you guys a pop quiz. Which one is the most ideal? Number 3 says Johnny. Raised garden bed, says Jill. Barbara, how to build a raised garden. Joe, how to build a raised garden. Dan, Ron. Uh, okay, awesome, awesome. Everyone's getting it. Everyone is getting this. This is what I'm talking about. I love it. Okay, so now it's the best because of the global monthly search volume, but why else is it the best? All right. I see you are targeting, says Enza. Targeted, says John. Let's see. Targeted focus. That's my word right there, Jim. Stay focused. More specific, says Ahsoka. John says more specific. Niche topic, says Gal. Man, I'm loving this thing. You guys are gonna make me lose my voice. I hope I'm able to speak this weekend. Long tail keyword, says Angela. I can't help it. I'm just getting so excited though. I love when people get this because it just means that there's just so many more people that are able to take this and make money with it. Small enough market to compete in. Absolutely. I mean, look at this thing, right? It's specific. How to build a raised garden bed, right? Doesn't just talk about this. Just not an ebook that talks about a garden bed, how to create a garden bed, right? But it's how to build a raised garden bed, right? How to build a raised garden bed. Now, let me again, because our titles are so important, I would take something like this, how to build a raised garden bed, and use that as my main title. And then I would add on as a subtitle, so it would read how to build a raised garden, and then that your neighbors will envy, or how to build a raised garden in a weekend, or how to build a raised garden that you'll love. All right? Yeah, this is an awesome title, Eleanor. I actually should have kept this one to myself. Don't tell my wife about it. All right, or else you'll mess up my happy home there. But right? But think about that, right? I mean, now what's the other reason why this is an awesome, awesome title right here? Think about it. What are we covering right now? What did we just cover a slide prior to this? Yeah, absolutely, John. This would be a killer book. This would be an incredible book. Enhance words in the title, says Jim. Jim is paying attention. I love it. All right. Uh, how to. So do you see that? So it's got the title enhancer in there. So this answers that question. Remember, your title enhancers are going to answer. I'm gonna step back for a minute. Do you mind if I do this? Again, because I want you to make sure. I want to make sure that you folks get this. Your title enhancers are going to answer those questions. How to? How can I do this? What's the quickest way to? Like, what's a quick way to do this? What's the fastest way to do this? Right? When people buy ebooks, they're thinking these questions in their head subconsciously. They're not putting a lot of thought into it, but it's there in the back of their mind. All right. What are some tips to doing this? Right. So does that make sense? You get those title enhancers in there. You use the search volume that I said works, right? And you do that research. What's another reason why this is a killer book? Do you think that if you had there's 12,000 people that are searching Google for this phrase here. Do you think if you had an ebook on Amazon and it's titled How to Build a Raised Garden Bed and there's 12,000 people that are searching for that information every month, do you think you'd be able to sell some? Do you think it would be hard or difficult? Hard or difficult? Easy. Easy. Yes, easy. Not hard, says Angela. Easy peasy, says Jamila. Easy. All right. Easy peasy to sell, says Joe. Absolutely. Right? Because the ranking is there. Right? It's absolutely there. Oh, Mike is asking a great question. Okay, and as you folks ask questions, I'm gonna go in and answer some of these from time to time. We're also going to have a really intensive Q&A session at the end as well. All right. So I usually price my ebooks between, and it depends on what the purpose is, because I use ebooks to make money, to generate sales, right? And it's, yes, it is, Andy. It's 12,000 searches every month on average. Uh, and I also use ebooks to build lists, right? But if I'm using them to make money, then I'll typically price between $2.99 and $4.99. Okay, $2.99 and $4.99 initially. Uh, so there you go. All right. So now, step 2, write this one down. After you do the research, the next step is to create the content. So after you do the research, you go in and you create the content. All right. Now, there's 3 ways to go in and get your content created. Okay. In my preferred order, there's 3 simple ways to get it done, and I've used all 3 of these, and all are extremely easy to do, even if you are a newbie to all of this. Okay. Number 1 is get someone else to write it for you. This is the option that I use a lot, and I've paid as little as 50 to 100 bucks to have people write content for me. And the beautiful thing about this is you own 100% of the rights. Okay, you own 100% of the rights to it, and you can resell it as long and as often as you want. You can even put your own name on it or use a pen name. Okay, so you can use a pen name. Now, this course gives you the only 3 sites that you should use when you're looking to have someone write your content. Plus, I give you the exact wording to use when looking for someone. This is crucial right here, especially when you're looking to outsource this stuff. I don't write any of my books. I mean, yeah, unless you're a writer, I don't think you should be writing them. You find folks that love writing, that are passionate about writing, right? And you outsource it to them because it's a win-win. You get something that, again, is high quality, because remember I said that you want to publish high quality stuff. They've done the research and they get paid for it. So it's a win-win. And not only that, but you pay 100 bucks to have a piece written for you, and then this piece makes you money month after month after month after month after month after month for years and years and years to come. All right, you get no better investment out there than something like this. The second option is you can speak it, and then you can have it transcribed. How many people use PCs here? There's speech recognition software out there like Dragon Naturally Speaking, or there's one that is actually free and it comes on your PC. Okay. Yes, Roger. All right. So how many people are aware that there's a free speech recognition? I want to see. Do you guys want to see this? How to find this free speech recognition software that's out there? If not, then okay, sure. All right. We can continue going if you don't. So let's see. Yes, 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 David. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So if you're on a PC and you go down here to, let me see. I'm going to try to get out of this thing really quickly. Go down to your start button here and then just type in speech. Let's see. Speech. Windows speech recognition. All right. So do you see it up here? You open that up. And let's see if it's going to open up. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't for me. It's not working. Oh, actually, here it is right here, I think. It's not starting. But you'll see it there. Okay. And I mean, that's another way to get your content created. And on Macs, there's one also as well, Siri. Right, so let me get back. And then the third way to get your content created is to write it yourself. This is not my favorite, but if you're a writer, this would be the perfect option for you. Like my wife, she can knock out an ebook, and again, these are 40, 50 pages, 30 pages on some occasions. She can write an ebook in like 2 days. 2 days. So if you're a writer, then this is for you. Okay. Now, the next thing is, step 3 is, and this is the last step. It literally takes you about 5 to 10 minutes to both create your Kindle Publishers account as well as add ebooks to it, because Amazon has made it so easy. And the third step is to go in and actually create your account and upload that content once you have it, and then start selling it on Amazon. All right. So when you do this, remember I spoke about your first line of defense is your title. So you want to make sure that your titles are awesome, right? And I talk about this. I just gave you one way of going in and creating titles, but there's literally a few other ways that actually work even better, and I share all of that with you in the program. Uh, the second, and I also gave you, just one way of doing research, market research. There's other ways of doing market research that I share with you in the program as well. The second line of defense is, what do you think the second line of defense is? It's your cover, right? So you want to make sure that your cover is awesome. And in the program, I show you how to get great covers. Okay. The third line of defense is your description. Okay. And in this, I also show you how to go in and write a killer description where, you talk about in your description what your book is about, who it's for, whether it's fact or fiction, and if it's a story, talk about some of your characters and what are the trials and tribulations that they go through and what's the plot. So, you get those 3 elements right, your title, your cover, your description, and you do the research in the correct way, and you've got a home run. All right. Now, once you publish it, your book is now available on Amazon and ready to make you money. Okay, it's a simple process. Again, I gave you the 3-step process here. There's a bit more there. So how many ebooks do you need to really be able to live comfortably? Think about this. Using the system that I've created, you do the research, you come up with your titles, your descriptions, and the price points. You can average about $500 a month. Okay, you can average about $500 a month in sales per ebook. So think about that. Imagine having 5, 10, or 20 ebooks all bringing in monthly income, or if your book sold 200, 500, 1,000 copies instead of just 100, right? Think about that. How many ebooks would you need? So you do the work once, your ebooks sell for months and years to come. It's residual income that pays you over and over and over again, right? So what makes this different is that it grows month after month. So the work that I did to get, this check was done one time. What's amazing about this, I've got books that I published, when I first got started, and they're still making me money to this day, right? And then as you see, it increases month after month after month. So I went from 2,200 to 2,800, then to 4,400, and then to 8,400, right? And then, you know, nearly $30,000 in sales in 1 month. And now I'm at the point where I'm constantly bringing in between $40,000 and $50,000 a month every single month. And it increases month after month. And this is the best time to get involved because, again, we've got the holidays coming up. We've got periods where people are going to be getting Kindle devices. They're going to be getting iPhones and tablets and Android phones and other mobile devices and computers where they can go in and install the Kindle device, the app, right? So think about it. Let me ask you a question right now. How much money do you need to make a difference in your life? Would it be like an extra $500 a month, an extra $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month? Oh, that's an awesome question, Altus. No, there is no cost to set up your Amazon Kindle publishing account. Great, great question. All right. So Sandra says $200 a month. Lynn says 5,000. Jill says 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, 10,000, 10,000, 1,000, 5,000. Let's see, 5,000, 10,000. Angela says I want it all. Oh, John, great question, John. I don't use my name. No, I use a pen name for everything I publish. And that's a great question. Here's why. All right. You've got a book that's doing well. You're making, a couple $100. You're making a couple $1,000. I don't want anyone to know what it is that I'm publishing. Right? You don't want to get one of these things and it pops and you're doing really well and then you announce to the world what it is that you're selling. Benson, no, you don't need a website. Kalia, no, you don't have to do anything legally to have a pen name. Actually, you'd be surprised that some of your favorite authors, Stephen King and Tom Clancy and folks like that, all use a pen name. Those are not their real names. All right, do the research on that. You'll find. All right, unless you're in the niche and you want to be known. So how could something like this change your life? What would you do with the extra income? I mean, could you put it towards your kids' future? Like we have, my wife and I, we have our kids' college savings already in place. Right? Use it to pay off your mortgage. Our home is almost nearly paid for. It would be done this year. Buy a house. If you don't have a house already, buy your dream car. One of the things I did for my wife Christmas was I bought her a new Mercedes Benz and I had the dealer put a big red bow on it and deliver it to our house. Right? Like I would have never been able to do this stuff before had it not been for this platform and this system. Pay off bills, get out of debt, travel the globe. What are some of the things? I mean, just imagine you've got money coming in. You know, the way to make it happen is to imagine it, all right, and talk about it. What are some of the things that you would do? Buy a Clydesdale horse. That's awesome. Wow, I never thought of that. Get out of debt. Buy winter tires. Um, let's see. Help my daughter go to school and take care of her kids. Awesome. Pay off my parents' house, buy a new car. Angela, I'm actually in the process of looking for a home for my mom right now. She lives in Connecticut, but I'm looking to move her here to North Carolina. Quit work, pay school loans off. Then that's so popular. So many people have school loans that they need to pay off. Travel to Europe, Valerie. Awesome, yeah. I've been out to London and Italy and France several times, and again, it's due to the income that I'm generating with Amazon. So there's so much. Like I said, my family, we travel about 6 to 7, 8 times a year, right? And again, it's no, Benson, you don't need a website. Donate to charities. Again, I donate to the National Sickle Cell Anemia Foundation because it's something that's near and dear to my heart. Okay, so the possibilities are endless with this thing here. All right, so let me ask you a question here. The past hour, would you agree that it's been time well spent? Yes or no? Do you think you learned something here? Do you think that it's an exciting opportunity? Yes, says Angela. Yes, says Jason. Robert says yes. All right, awesome. Yes, says David. Yes, says Gary. John, yes. Paul, Enza, Vanetta, Roy, Daniel, Len, Asia. I like that name. Angela, Ron, Gary says yes. Fred, yes. Ahsoka, yes. David, Valerie, Andy, Catherine, Deborah. Actually, you know what, Valerie? Not only is my sister's name was Valerie, but one of my top students, her name is Valerie as well. You're gonna hear from her. Deborah says yes. Dennis, Dan, Enza, Marja, Sandra, Gail, Gordon, Pete, Jill, Jim, Fred, Martin, Johnny, Angela, Lynn, Winston, Joe, Martin, Terry, Keisha, Preston. Everyone says this last hour has been amazing. It's been time well spent. Obviously we can't cover everything you need in a 90-minute presentation, but I do want to do something where I'm able to go in and work with you closer. And I put together a special offer so you can get everything you need to know. And if you act fast, I'm actually going to give you a very special deal on this thing. And it's because of Sarah that I'm actually going to do something that I probably was a bit hesitant to doing, and that is just, you know, give you everything. So is it okay if I help you and share? Right? I've got an awesome group of people that I want to introduce you to too that are doing this. I mean, literally about 600 folks that are doing extremely well, and I want to introduce you to our group. One of the things is that I've discovered, and at the top of this webinar, I shared with you that there's some life lessons that I've learned during my day, right? And one of those is that old habits die hard. Old habits die hard. Sometimes we watch webinars or we go to events and we get excited and, we go back home and what happens? We fall into the same rut. Or after the webinar or after the presentation or after we've read that book or after we've listened to that audio program, and we fall into the same rut and we go back to our habits, right? So what I've done is I want to make sure that you don't go back to the same habit. So I put together a special offer and it's called the Kindle Cash Flow. Right, it's called a Kindle Cash Flow. And the reason why I titled that is because it's absolutely just that. It's a cash flow. Right? This is everything right here. I've put everything that I've learned, everything that I've tested into this system here. Right? Where it's actual videos, a physical system where you'll get to look over my shoulder and you'll see what I do as I do it. The results I get, why I do certain things, and it's an entire step-by-step program. Now, when I put this together, right, one of the things is I said to myself, I want this to be different. I spent so much money. Remember we were talking about staying focused earlier and how many people had their hands on so many different things? Well, I've spent so much money on different programs and internet marketing programs, some of them that are just sitting on my hard drive, right, or that are just sitting in my closet, to a point where I would get frustrated because some of these programs, they didn't cover everything. Like they would leave stuff out or they assumed that you knew. And I said to myself, I would never, ever, 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 put together an incomplete system. So when I put the system together, my goal was to be able to give it to the total newbie or the individual that's even got a little bit of experience that has a few ebooks that are published, and get that person to a point where they're seeing incredible results. Right? So what I'm going to say here might sound a little bit devious, but one of the individuals that I first tested it on was my 14-year-old daughter, right? And I gave her the entire system. Her name is Maya. And I said, if Maya can do this without any help from me and get results, then I know that I put together a program that the average person can get results from, the non-technical person. She's 14, so if she can get it, then the average person can get it. She took the system, and at the time, she was really into like mystery thrillers, like these vampire novels. So I said, your best bet would be to go in and publish some vampire novels because it's something that you enjoy, right? It's something that you like. She loved reading those stories. She did that, and long story short, her account is now to the point where it generates just about $5,000 a month at 14. Right? Now, she doesn't know that her account makes that much money because my wife and I, we take that money and we put it into a college savings fund, right, for her. Now, think about that. She's 14 and she's doing well to that point with no guidance from me, just the system. So if a 14-year-old could do this, then you could do it as well. All right? So that's that. So what you'll get in this, Catherine, this is just for you, Catherine. I saw your question there. So what you'll get in this is, that'll be a great amount for college when she graduates, Barbara. And the other thing is she'll also have Uh, Ahsoka says she's got to be super smart. She's an average teenager, you know. What you'll get is you'll get the setup, which is a $997 value. And this is setting up your account. So how to get started quickly, what not to do so that you don't get banned. Remember I talked about, I got to the point where my account was doing about $2,000 a month and I started to do some dumb things, right? So in this course, I talk about what you should not do, how to set up your account properly so that this is a business. And the beautiful thing about it is, like I said, we travel about 7 or 8 times a year. We've been all over the planet. It's a business that can create an amazing income for not only you, but it's your family as well. You can get your children, your spouse, your significant involved in this as well. So you'll also get the Kindling for Profits module, which is a $1,497 value. All right, and this talks about finding the right niche and readers, niches that sell and readers that buy. You'll also get the Buyer Magnet module, which is a $2,997 value. And this includes, like in this module, I wanted to put all the critical, the must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. This is the stuff, I've looked at all of the Kindle programs out there, and I'm a firm believer in the fact that if you're gonna learn from someone, you should learn from someone that's actually doing it to like the 10th degree. Like I don't want to learn from someone that's just making 200 bucks a month. I want to learn from the guy that's making 200,000 bucks a month because he's been through the trenches. He's learned everything. He's made a ton of mistakes. The Lord knows I've made a ton of mistakes with this. And I put all of these things in here, all of the elements that you have to have in order to make your ebook sell. We talked about your cover. We talked about the pricing. We talked about the titles. We talked about the descriptions. We talked about, um, just all of these things. Now, in this module right here, I show you how to pull it all together, and I go into detail and I share what you should do, what you should not do. Right? I also give you the KDP cash extraction module. And this is a $3,500 value. This talks about some of the secret ways that you can use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. I might sound a bit cocky when I say I don't care about competition, but now I have my students saying that as well. They don't care about competition because when you know what's covered in this course, when you have this information, okay, you don't care about competition. Competition is non-existent because they have no clue as to some of the things they should be doing. So altogether, this is an $8,991 value. Okay. Alicia, that's the furthest thing from the truth. You would think that. I thought that, but that's not true. So I had two choices when I was putting this together. Okay, the first option was to go as cheap as possible and to try to sell as many as possible. And it wouldn't incentivize me to really stack the value on for you because I'm making a lot of money with this stuff. Like I really don't need to teach it, right? I just do it on occasion when I have someone that's a really good friend, like Sarah, ask me to come in. That's why you don't see me teaching this stuff, all right? Because I'd rather be making the money. Uh, but for this event only, I went really inexpensive. Okay, and again, it's because of the relationship that I have with Sarah. The second option is it requires a little higher investment, but in exchange, I'm able to devote more resources to guarantee your success. Okay, now here's a testimonial from one of my students. He says, Ty, over the last year, I've continued to follow the Kindle cash flow system, and I'm now doing $20,000 per month in sales. This is one of my top students. Again, he's from Perth, Australia, of all places. His name is Darren DeVry. This guy is in his 60s, all right, in his 60s. And he got access to my program when he had just gotten laid off, and things were really looking bad for him. And he just put in the work. Now, here's the thing. You're going to have to put in the work, and it's not a lot of work. It's easy. You have an entire system. It's really easy, but you can't expect to get something and not open it up. Right? As much as I wish that was possible, it's just not going to happen. All right, so what you'll get is, again, you'll get the setup, that $997 value. It's setting up your account, how to get started quickly, what not to do so you don't get banned. It's the Kindling for Profits, which is a $1,500 value. It teaches you how to go in, do the right research. We talked about one way of doing research, but there's many more that I share with you, many more that work even better. You'll get the niches that sell, and you'll learn how to find readers that buy. Then you also get that Buyer Magnet, which is a $2,997 value. And this includes all of the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. We talk about covers, we talk about pricing, descriptions, titles, reviews. You'll also get the KDP cache extraction module, which is a $3,500 value, and this covers the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. And again, this is the $8,991 value. Now, remember when we were talking about Google and using Google in conjunction with Amazon to really rank your books? And because I started seeing such great results with this, because my students started seeing such great results with this, I went a little bit deeper and I put together an entire module. Like, this is a mini course in itself, and it's called the Google Kindle Crunch. And this shows you how to get your books listed in Google and how to get them listed high. Remember, we were looking at those ebooks that had first, second, third positions, and some of them had multiple positions. This is where you'll learn how to do that. So this stuff actually increases your sales. About 30% of my sales come from being able to actually leverage Google and get my ebooks listed highly in Google. So this is a $2,000 value bonus that I normally would charge extra for. It's usually an upsell, but there's no upsells in this course at all. And I'm adding this on for free, again, because Sarah is a good friend and she's asked me to over deliver. All right, but I can't give this to everyone. I have to limit it to the first 30 people only, okay? You're also going to get another course that I put together. This is the Money Multiplicity course. In addition to the Kindle Cash Flow program, you're going to get both of these courses. And this one shows you how to take the same content, the same ebook, and also how to publish it to Barnes & Noble's Nook and the Apple's iBookstore platforms. So now you triple your ebooks exposure. All right, so this is another course that I usually sell separately, but because of Sarah, you're also going to get this as a bonus if you're one of the first 30 people to order. Okay, so first 20. So if you're in the first 20, you're going to get both bonuses. All right, if you're the first 30, you only get that first bonus. This is the entire program. It's a physical course. It's going to get shipped out to you first thing tomorrow morning. All right, my fulfillment house, they ship this thing out first thing tomorrow morning. And I actually don't have a lot of these left because, again, I didn't plan on doing this webinar again. I just want to focus on publishing my own ebooks to Amazon. So it's going to be very limited. Now, what you'll get, again, is everything. You'll get that set up. Teaches you how to set up your account, how to get started quickly, what not to do so you don't get banned. You'll get the Kindling for Profits module. You get the buyer magnet. You'll get the KDP cache extraction. And then you'll get the bonus, the first bonus, right? You'll get that second bonus. And then everything together is valued at $11,985. Now, if all this did was to finally allow you to generate a consistent hands-free passive income every month, would it be worth it? Like, this is the one thing that helped me out here. I was chasing my tail. I had too many different things I was trying. I was buying every darn thing and not putting anything to work, and I couldn't get anything to work until I got this because it's so easy. Now, if all this did was to give you that way of generating passive income, money that comes in month after month, every month, would it be worth it? I mean, and answer honestly here, because for me, this is what made the difference between me not being able to take my my children, my family on vacations and being able to. All right, this is the stuff that was able to allow me to send my children to private schools. All right. This is the stuff that allows me to be a stay-at-home dad and be the only freaking father on a field trip when my children go on field trips, and because I don't have to ask my boss for a day off, right? It feels so magnificent to be a parent on a field trip in the middle of the day and know that you have money that's coming in, right? So if all that did was this for you, would it be worth it? All right? Absolutely. Right? So nothing changes your life like being able to have more financial freedom. Now, if all this did was give you the kick in the butt to finally get you, all right, moving and making money, would it be worth it? Think about it. Like, sometimes I talked about these life lessons. Sometimes all we need is we need that kick in the butt. We need something that's going to get us there. All right, and you're lining yourself up with a multi-billion-dollar company like Amazon. Now, if all this did was just give you 2 or 3 ebooks, right? You don't have to be greedy. If it just gave you 2 or 3 ebooks that each brought in $500 per month to pay a bill or to save, right? $1,000 or $1,500 a month, would it be worth it? Sometimes you have to be honest with yourself, and it starts with just being open and being willing to verbally communicate that, right? So absolutely. Now, if you got to the point where, like my student Darren DeVry, you're making $20,000 a month, would it make sense to pay $5,000 for something like this? then every sale after that month is pure profit, right? Think about that, right? You can see why it's such a good deal at $5,000, all right? Now, normally, this weekend when I do this event, I'm going to be selling it for $2,000. And anytime after I do this webinar, it's going to be $2,000. But because you're at this special webinar event, right? I can't, because Sarah has been such a great friend. You know, she even bought me lunch one time. I'm going to let you get started now for less than you think. All right, for less than you think. You'll be surprised at how much this thing is when you go in and you visit the website. So go in, visit the website, kcf2.com/Sarah. It's all lowercase, okay? David, you can learn this in a weekend, all right? And I'm going to actually put this into the chat box too. But the webinar, give me 1 second because I can't
Now,
talk and
Ty,
type.
yeah, that's right. Ty, I've been taking a ton of notes here. I've actually gone to the end of my notepad here. I've had to go to a second notepad. You've delivered some fantastic content here today.
I love it. And
Yeah,
we're
we've
not
been
done.
getting a ton of we're getting a ton of questions. I'm collating these questions,
Awesome.
and I'm still taking notes.
That's awesome. You know, and I want to have that Q&A. So remember, stick around because we're gonna answer every single question until everyone has been answered. All right, and I'll start with Gail's question, and we'll go in and out with these questions. Gail says, Ty, do we have to have a Google AdWords account to get access to the keyword research tool? You want to go and set up an AdWords account, but you don't have to add a credit card or anything like that. You don't have to pay for it. That's a great question, Gail. And yes, so just if you have a Gmail account, you can use that to log in. Remember, you don't have to pay to have an AdWords account or a Keyword Planner account, and you do not have to pay to have a Amazon Kindle publishing account. Okay, um, so great question. All right, and again, you can go to kcf2.com/Sarah if you want to be one of the first 20 or 30. Now, I got something special here that I added, and I just snuck this in. I didn't even tell Sarah about this, but this is going to be only for the first 15 people because I actually have to pay for this. This one is actually coming out of my pocket, so I have to really limit this to 15 people that are the first buyers. I'm going to give you your own virtual assistant. Right? This is cool because I use virtual assistants all the time. Like this has literally changed my business, just being able to outsource to other people. And I want you to experience that too. So I've actually partnered with a company where for 40 hours, we're going to give you a virtual assistant that will help you go in and research topics. They can help you come up with title ideas, writing out descriptions, communicating with your writer if you outsource your written content, or anything else you can think of, including working on some of your other businesses. All right, so again, the first 15 people I'm going to give this virtual assistant to, and I have to really limit this to the first 15 because it's something that I have to pay for out of my own pocket. And I don't think my wife will be too happy if I paid for 20 or 30 of these things. All right, so again, go to kcf2.com/Sarah, and when you go in and buy, put your name into the questions box so I can know that. Actually, Roy, you can't click onto that link that's on your screen. You have to type it in. Okay. So you can't click onto that. Just go to kcf2.com/Sarah. All right. And I'll put that into the chat box again. You can just click onto the link that I put into this chat box here, and that'll take you right there. And Sarah, can you click onto that link also just to make sure that it's opening up?
Yeah, I've just put it in, and it works fine for me. So it's taking me straight to the correct page. So
Okay. So Lynn says
yeah,
error.
that's
All right. Okay. So Lynn says she's getting a 404 error. Lynn, can you click onto the link that I'm
okay.
actually putting in there? Oh, Roy says it's open for him. Okay, site opens up just fine, says Paul. Gordon works here in
That's working for
Illinois,
me.
says Paul. Okay, great. All right. Len, you almost scared me there for a bit. Like I said, I'm not a professional at this stuff right here. I don't do this often. You know, I'm just coming on as a.
Make sure you do make sure you do the /Sarah. That's probably why one of you wasn't getting the link to work. So it's kcf2.com/Sarah.
There you go.
Okay, I had a question earlier on actually from Jane, and Jane was asking, do you have to be like mega technical to do this, or could you do this if you're like a complete sort of internet marketing beginner?
Yes, that's a great question. You absolutely can. And that's why, again, when I first tested this out on my daughter, because she's not a lot of, some teenagers are the type that can jump on a computer and figure everything out, right? But she's more of a bookworm. She's more like me. She's more of a reader, so she doesn't enjoy being on a computer all the time. So she would be the perfect person. And like I said, my top student, Darren DeVry, he's in his 60s and he's doing this, right? So he's not really computer literate. He's not a techie at all. I'm not a techie at all. And it's something, see, the thing about systems is, and if you've ever read the book, The E-Myth, right? If you have the proper system, you're virtually not limited to anything. You can accomplish anything with the proper system. And the way I put this together is it's a step-by-step system. So you'll go in and you actually follow everything I'm doing one at a time. Here's the first step. Here's the second step. Here's the third step. And you actually get to see on screen, just as you're looking at my screen right now, how to go in and do each of these steps here. So you're not limited to anything. Great question. All right. So again, just to follow up here, we're going to answer more questions in just a minute. We'll cover every single question, but I just want to, someone's asking, what do I get with everything? And yes, Jared, it does come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Absolutely. Great question. You'll get for setup, which is a $997 value. So this talks about setting up your account, the right way to do it, the wrong ways to do it, how to get started quickly, what not to do so that you don't get banned, kindling for profits as well. And that is finding the right niche, the readers, the niches that sell and readers that buy. And you also get the buyer magnet, which is a $2,297 value. This includes all of the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. We talk about the cover, the pricing, the descriptions, the titles, how you should write out your descriptions. Because if you're not writing out your descriptions the right way, you're going to fail at this. So you want this information that shares with you how you should line up your description. We talk about how to go in and test price points. I've tested 50-something prices over the last couple of years. Covers, how to get the best covers, and how to get covers for less than $5, right? And where to get quality covers. I'm not talking about Fiverr here. I'm talking about how to get awesome covers from designers that know how to just really, really do great work. All right. So I talk about you know, the KDP cache extraction module. You'll get that as well, which is a $3,500 value. And this covers the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. Most people don't do well with this because they don't have the system. Once you have the system, you're literally able to print money. All right. Bonus number one, if you're in the first 30, you'll get the Google Kindle Crunch bonus. And this actually shows you how to use Google in conjunction with Amazon to get your books listed in Google higher. This accounts for about 30% of my sales. All right, so when you use this and you know how to use it, you'll increase your sales. You'll also get bonus number two, money multiplicity, and this shows you how to use the other platforms, the Nook platform as well as Apple's iBookstore to go in and triple your exposure. Bonus number three, you'll also get that virtual assistant if you're one of the first 15 to place your order. And as you're placing your order, I see we've got Michael and James and a few other folks that are placing their orders right now. Go in and put your name in because I want to make sure that the first 15 get access to that virtual assistant. So this total value of everything here is $12,585. This is normally sold at $2,000, but you're getting an extra special discount because you're watching this as a result of being on Sarah's list. So go to kcf2.com/Sarah and you can get in and actually get started quickly, right? And there's a few more bonuses that I have in there as well for the early action takers, and I'll share those with you after we answer some more questions. So let's see. Just
Okay,
purchase,
yeah,
says Debbie. Awesome. I'm in, says Steve. I'm in. Lynn says, I so want those bonuses. I love it. I love it. Peter says, I've just ordered. Gary, yes. Gary says, I've already signed up. Am I in the first 15? Yes, Gary, you are in. All right. Charniqua, I hope I am not screwing your name up, Charniqua. She says, I just finished signing up. All right. So, wow, we've got a ton of folks that are signing up here. This is what I'm talking about. Fast.
Yeah.
action takers here.
Well,
So
I told you, Ty, that my yeah, list, my people, they're action takers. They actually like to get stuck in and do stuff, They're very
hey, this is my group
proactive as
here.
well.
This is my type of group here. There's listen, it's one of the things is, and I wish I knew this earlier. And Sarah, I look at your emails, right? And I've never told you this before,
Hmm.
but I have a special folder just for Sarah Starr's emails because she's an action taker, and I look at what she's doing. And when you're in a company of action takers, and I'm going to show you everyone that's in right now, you're also going to become part of a special group of 600 action takers that are in the Facebook group. We're all publishing ebooks. We're doing extremely well, and it's a closed group only for buyers of this program. All right, and I'm going to show you in a minute what that group is and some of the results that people are getting. You're going to be blown away. So go ahead, Sarah. Do you have some questions that are coming in?
Yeah, just Enza's got a problem ordering. I know Enza, so hi Enza, how you doing? Okay, don't know what problem you've got there, but I mean we can if you still got a problem, I can get a link to you later on if you like.
Absolutely.
Not
Enza,
quite sure.
Enza, you can also, if you want, Enza, is she in the US, Enza?
No, Enza's in the UK.
Enza's in the UK. Okay. I was going to give you our phone number. You could have placed your order by phone, Enza. Um,
If it's the Enza I'm thinking about, but
yeah. Uh, Enza, if you can, what you can do is you can give us your email address. Oh, okay. She says, hi, I think it's gone through okay.
oh, okay, fantastic.
Okay. Hey, Gary says that since you're in NC, I would love to meet you in the future. Had a good time. Absolutely, Gary. I love meeting new people, so especially action takers. Uh, oh,
Okay,
Lynn, go ahead.
we we had a question earlier on from David, and David was asking roughly, the process of actually, researching a product, uh, you know, getting the product outsourced and actually getting it up on Amazon. How long does the process normally take?
You know what? That's a really great question. So I typically have an ebook, and my students typically have an ebook up within a week, 2 weeks max. Because most of the folks that you're going to
Hmm.
hire, they're writers that love doing this stuff. They love researching, um, and they just love being able to put something together. And as I explained earlier during the webinar, you get someone that writes and that they're in the zone, they can write an ebook for you in 3 days. Like I've had some of my writers literally, I'm always blown away by this, and I've been doing this forever, right? I'm like a dinosaur, I think. And I'm still blown away when someone turns around and hands me an ebook in 3 days, 4 days. I'm blown away when I look at my wife and she's got an ebook written in 2 days, 3 days. So in a week, in maximum 2 weeks, you're gonna find that once you hire someone, an outsourcer, and they're good, there's someone that can give you an ebook in a week. Two things are going to happen. Number one, they're gonna want to do more work for you. All right. And you're going to want to give them more work because it's just you just keep putting this in. You just like you don't want to stop. You put money in, money comes out. Put money in, more money comes out.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Someone's also asking about fiction books. Are the fiction books you do still only 50 pages, or should they be longer?
No, they are only 50 pages or less. Now, that's a great question too. If you've been following Amazon for the last year or two, Amazon has also found out that shorter books are selling really well. So well that they've gone in, they've created a special section called Amazon Shorts. They've also changed the name to Amazon Singles, right? And singles. Because think about it, people are so busy nowadays, right? We're always doing so many things that we don't have time to sit down and read a 200, 300 Moby Dick anymore. So we want to be entertained in short bites. We want to be able to pick up a book, something that we can read while we're on our lunch break, while we're waiting for the bus, or while we're waiting at our kids' cheer practice, right? So shorter books work really well, and that's why Amazon has created this special section for shorter books as well. So yes, fact and fiction. People just want episode books. I love that, Barbara. Absolutely. So much so, Barbara, here's a tip, right? Uh, I've started to get to the point where I'll create really short uh, romance novels, or it might be mystery or thrillers, because I publish everything. Uh, and they'll just be series. So I might have one 30 or 40 page series that leads on to the next, that leads on to the next, that leads on to the next. And what's awesome about that is you hook your reader. So your reader wants to continue following what's happening. Think about it as a television series. I like The Walking Dead. So I watch one episode on a Sunday night and they leave me at this cliffhanger. I have to know what's happening the next Sunday. Right? So the same thing applies here. Go ahead.
Okay. Just trying to see.
Great questions,
Looking
by the
further
way.
back
Keep
in the
them going.
question. Yeah, absolutely. Got some great questions. How many books do you have currently? Just out of interest, Ty, how many books do you have on Kindle right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Currently, right now, I have a couple of hundred books. A couple of them.
Okay.
All right.
A
Yvonne,
couple of hundred books. Wow.
couple hundred books because I'm so addicted to this, right? Like someone asked me one time, right? I was at a marketing event and they said, Ty, what are you doing now? And I had to look at him like a three-headed alien. And I said to myself, I said, what do you mean, what am I doing now? I said, I'm doing the same thing, like in my head, because it works so well. Like, why would I want to touch something else? So I'm doing the same thing, and you're going to get to the same way. Yvonne, I have your email
Oh,
address.
this
Yvonne, can you send me an email? I'll give you my email here as well. So Yvonne, send me an email with your
Mark
information.
has Mark has a great question. Would this work in other languages? So if you're bilingual, could you do this in different languages other than just English? Is there, can you do Kindle in other languages?
Yes, absolutely, Mark. Great question. And that's part of the reason why earlier when we were doing the Google keyword research, remember, I said that you want to select all languages, not just English. Because one of the things that Amazon allows you to do is not only are you publishing in multiple countries, okay, but you can also have your ebooks translated. Now, there's a few ways that I give. I'm not going to give away the farm, right? But I'll give you one tip here. When you get an ebook that sells extremely well in English, the quickest way to multiply your income is to then take that ebook and have it translated into Spanish next, because Spanish is the second largest language, right? So I do that. I get a book that's selling well, I instantly translate it into Spanish, and then that just literally almost increases my sales by like almost double.
Okay, Andrew's got an interesting question. So would you recommend putting images in a Kindle book, or does it depend on the subject?
Yes, you absolutely can put images in your book as well. Don't use too many images because you don't want to use it as fluff or filler, but you absolutely can. And really quickly, if you want to get in on those bonuses and you're sitting on a fence, you might want to do so now because we are really filling up here. I see folks are still getting their orders in. Orders are still coming in. Uh, let's see. Kashmir says tried that but still having problems. Kashmir, are you having problems with? I'm not still having problems signing in. Please send me the link.
No.
Right. Let me send you.
Okay.
Let me send you the link. Are you having problems placing an order or visiting the page? Let me know. There's the link there.
Dan's asking if they do the two payment option, when would the second payment come out of their account?
30 days afterwards, Dan. Absolutely. 30 days afterwards. So great question. And here's something, I want to talk about this really quickly, guys. Disposable income, right? We all have disposable income, but we think about it as income that shouldn't be invested, right? Because we'll spend that disposable income at McDonald's or on sneakers or on clothing or entertainment. But Rich Dad, Poor Dad, how many people are familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, right? He says poor people spend money on liabilities, rich people spend money on assets. An asset is something that's going to increase, that's going to grow, right? So even if you have that disposable income, start looking at it. And this is something that I teach my children. There's no such thing as disposable income that should not be spent in the form of generating you more money. All right, your money should always be working for you. All right, so you either have more money or you have an excuse for not having more money. Right, money is only a tool to get you there. Okay, so at this point, you literally have two choices. The first option is you can do nothing and not take this leap of faith, which is, again, it's 100% risk-free because, as I mentioned, it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. All right. If for any reason you don't like it, just send it back. The second option is you pony up the small amount, this tiny investment today compared to all of the value you'll receive in return, and you just give it a shot, right? If it works, great. If not, just ask for your money back and you'll get it. I don't need the money. I'll take the money, but I don't need the money. So I want you to be totally comfortable with your decision. And I want you to get to the point where you have something that's actually working for you. And with something like this, where you're teaming up with Amazon, you have the resources of a mega company there. Right now, because I'm so confident in this, I don't have just one guarantee, but I have three guarantees. Right? There's three guarantees. My first guarantee is do the research, right? If you can't find a hot topic to create your first ebook around, I will personally help you to get started. Right? I'm on the phone with my students all the time because I love being able to, number one, help someone get to the point where they were not at before. I love being able to see where people are making money, and I know that I had a hand in that. Like there's no better feeling. Making money is fine, but there's no better feeling than being able to know that you've changed someone else's life, right? And I think at this point, with all of the fortune that I've had in my life, I deserve to, or I actually have to help others. The second part of my guarantee is outsourcing. If you can't find someone to write your ebooks for you, I will give you access to one of my best writers who will write your first ebook for under $100. Right? This is because I don't want there to be any obstacles for you. Sometimes we make up these obstacles and they're all self-made in our head. We think we can't do something, but trust me, if I can do this, I'm no smarter than you. All right? You can do this. Chances are you actually probably have more of an advantage than me. All right? I didn't graduate college. I barely made it out of high school. I've got this terrible accent, right? That you can, this New York accent, right? I'm not a writer. So if you can do this, I'm not a technical person at all either. Sales. If after 60 days you're not making at least $500 per month per ebook, I will have one of my top coaches jump on a call with you to kickstart your business. All right. So think about this. There's no excuses when you have these guarantees. The first thing is if you can't find topics, I will help you. All right. I help my students all the time because I'm a firm believer in not selling something to someone and then leaving them uh, to be left alone on their own. All right, if you can't find someone to write your ebooks, I'll give you access to one of my best writers. I've got an awesome collection of writers that write quality content. If after 60 days you're not making at least $500 per ebook, I will have one of my top coaches jump on a call with you to help kickstart your sales, or I'll even get on the phone with you. Right? Because again, I want this to work for you. Right? There's also a 30-day guarantee here. Sign up today, and if you don't like it for any reason, I don't care if it's 29 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes from now, just let me know, and we'll give you your money back, okay? We'll give you your money back. So with other opportunities, it can take 3 to 5 years to get your initial investment back. With this, you get 5 times back with the first couple of ebooks that you publish. Think about that, right? Now, there's a tale of two people. We've got Timid Tommy, and I heard the story one time, and it made so much sense because I was Timid Tommy at one point, and nothing worked for me until I became Brave Bob. You've got Timid Tommy and Brave Bob. Timid Tommy is the guy, like I said at the beginning, I was a really skeptical person. I was a very cynical person. I doubted everything. Those internet marketers, they don't give you the full story. They leave stuff out. Or that's not going to work. Or it's only going to work for him because he's smarter than me. Or I don't have enough time. Or I've got my family. And I had like all of these crazy excuses that I would make. I'm not smart enough. There's no way I'm going to be able to come up with ideas. There's no way I'm going to be able to go and hire someone. Like I had all of these just really, now that I look at it, I have to laugh because it tells me how foolish I was. I had all of these limiting self-beliefs. Right? And then you've got Brave Bob. Brave Bob is the guy who makes things happen. He's the lady or the gentleman that says, I don't know how it's going to happen, but it is going to happen. I say that to my wife now, whenever something happens. I said, baby, I don't know how this is going to happen, but I'm going to make it happen. That's who you have to become. You have to become the person that is Brave Bob, and you believe in things. All right? So Sarah, actually, I just got to notice that we have reached
Uh-huh.
the first. So we're out of that first bonus. I think that what um, Is there
Okay.
anyone else that wanted that bonus, the virtual assistant, that might be on the fence right now? If so, just put your name into the questions box. Hey, signed up now, says Barbara. Okay. Wow, we've got a ton of people that say that they still want.
Yeah.
Richard
Enz is
says,
asking about the virtual assistant. Enz is actually asking, how does the virtual assistant work? When do you get access to that?
you get access to that immediately. That's a great question too. So as soon as you sign up, you get access. You'll get a link to go in and sign up to the virtual assistant. You get immediate access to that. You get immediate access to our inner circle Facebook private group, and I'm going to show you that in just a second as well. Um, Yvonne says yes, she wants a virtual assistant. Jason, yes. Lots of people that still want the virtual assistant. So maybe uh, maybe I can give away. What do you think, Sarah?
Do you think you could give away a few more?
Yeah. Do you think?
Come on. I'll
Do you
tell you
think?
what, with the virtual assistant, people then definitely don't have an excuse not to take action.
I think so. You're absolutely right. It's so maybe we can give away. Of course, I want a virtual assistant. I want it also, Lynn. All right. So here we're gonna do. Yes, Gary. Gary wants a virtual assistant as well. So we will give away. We're giving away 15. I'm just thinking, how much is it gonna cost me here? We're gonna give away. Uh, well, Sarah, are you gonna buy me lunch the next time we meet up in person?
Absolutely.
Sarah's gonna buy me
I'm
lunch.
thinking about coming on the cruise actually in January, so
Oh,
I'll buy you lunch.
you have, yeah, the cruise lunch is free on the cruise, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna give away.
No,
Let's
we'll go to a
double it.
special restaurant,
Oh, that's right, steakhouse. Then she's gonna buy me dinner. So we'll do
steakhouse in the
that.
evening. You have to pay extra for that, don't you?
I was gonna say five more. So since it's steak, we'll double it. I'm gonna give away 15 more virtual assistants. We'll give away 15 more.
Fantastic.
All right, all right. Uh,
Someone is asking when is this being sent out? So if they purchase today, when will this be mailed out?
First thing tomorrow morning. That's a great question too. So if you're in
Fantastic.
the U.S., you should get it within 5 business days. If you're outside of the U.S., you'll get it in about 10 business days. Okay, Carol is in. Welcome aboard, Carol. Welcome to the group, Carol. You've just made a nice investment in yourself. Mary is in. Mary says she wants a personal assistant as well. Um, Lynn, yes, Lynn, absolutely. Uh, so we've got everyone that's in. Listen, you should pat yourself on the back because you've just done something that most people won't do. Most people don't believe in themselves enough. Most people don't believe that they're capable of doing something like this. So welcome, welcome, welcome aboard. Right? Uh, Now, if you're in and you're trying to order, this is what you're going to see once you click that link. Once you visit kcf2.com/Sarah. You're going to see a page that looks like this, and it just has a breakdown of everything that you're going to get. All right. Um, the next section is, as you scroll down, you'll add your first name here. You'll add your last name. You'll put your primary email address. You'll put your phone number in here. This information is important here. You'll put your billing address. This is where your credit card statement comes, right? And then you'll put your shipping address here. This is where you want the program to be shipped to. All right, and then if your shipping address is different from your billing address, that's fine. If your billing address is the same as your shipping address, you could just leave this blank. Then you'll select your credit card type here, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. You'll enter your credit card details there, and then you'll hit purchase down at the bottom. All right, and again, we ship this internationally. All right, we have a few of them that are left, and you'll get it shipped out first thing in the morning. All right, and here's everything that you'll get again. You'll get the setup, all right, because I know some people have been asking about this again, and I think it's important that I go over everything that you'll get so that you know everything. You'll see all the value that's in this. So you'll get the setup, right, and this is one of the most important steps here. In this module, which is $1,000 value here, you'll get to see exactly how you set up your account. So you'll look over my shoulder and you'll see it on your screen so you're not in doubt about anything. You'll learn how to get started quickly, what not to do so you don't get your account banned. You'll also get the Kindling for Profits module, which is finding the right niche and readers. These are niches that sell and readers that buy. Listen, there's no value in having an ebook listed on Amazon that doesn't sell. And the reason why it doesn't sell is because you're not targeting the right niche and you're not targeting the right readers. In this module, you'll learn how to target both of those. Okay, and that's a $1,500 value. You'll also get what's known as the buyer magnet module, and this is a $3,000 value because in this module, I cover all of the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. We talked about your first line of defense being your title, right? And then we talked about, because your title is going to attract the females because they're analytical and they look at, and females are so much smarter, if guys don't beat me up on this, but they have the advantage over us because they look at things and they analyze things, right? And then we talk about your second line of defense, which is your cover. And this is what pulls the guys in because we're visual. We're so visual sometimes that it gets us into trouble, right, females? And then we have the third thing, which is the description. That's your third line of defense. So we cover all of these and how to make sure that you have every single element perfect, including your pricing and how to get reviews. And then we have what's known as the KDP Cast extraction. This is a $3,500 value. And this covers the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. All right, this is what gives you that advantage, all right, where you don't have to worry about competition because no one knows this stuff. And then you'll also get bonus number one. Again, if you're in the first 30, which is the Google Kindle Crunch, and this shows you how to use Google, how to leverage the mammoth reach, the global reach, the massive reach of Google to get your ebooks listed on the Google search engine ranking, which will in turn help you to sell even more ebooks. This accounts for about 30% of my sales here. All right. You'll also get bonus number two, which is the money multiplicity bonus, and this shows you how to take that same ebook that you have and not only sell it on the Kindle Direct Publishing platform, but also the Barnes & Noble's Nook platform and also the Apple iBookstore, right? And then you'll get the third bonus. Again, we just released more of these virtual assistants, but this is the absolute last time. I'm usually so easy on saying yes, but I have written down no on a big sheet of paper in front of me right now. So this is the last time I'm going to give away more virtual assistants. So if you're not in it, if you're not one of the next 15 to get in, because we're giving away 30 of these things total now, then this is it. But you'll also get your own virtual assistant, and she can help you with all of this stuff. And the total value is $12,585. Normally I sell this program for $2,000, but you're not going to pay anywhere near that because Sarah is a good friend of mine. Now, here's what I'm really excited about. I love being around people that are action takers. I love being around people that are getting results. I love being around people that had no success doing anything else before, and now all of a sudden they take my program and they start to they start to see results. They start to make money. Like, that is like birthing a child. Not in the sense that you're a child, but it's like birthing a child in the sense that you finally shown someone the way. It's like showing a blind man, light or how to see for the first time. Right? Because I was that person before. So you get access to our private Facebook group. This is where we have 600 people that are all getting results. They're all using this program. You get to ask questions. You get to get updates because I'm constantly testing stuff. I'm constantly updating this program. You get the newest information on what works. Like, this is different from so many programs because with most programs, once it becomes outdated, that's it. You're stuck. But I'm constantly helping you out. My coaches, I've got coaches in here. They're constantly updating you. And then we've got just the students and themselves. Like, they help each other. And I want you to become part of this program. You get to share ideas. You get to brainstorm. You get to get help, right? You're never left alone on your own. You get to interact with people that are starting out right now just as you are, that are totally new to this. And you get to also hear from people that are making thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars a month with this thing. Like Darren DeVry, I talked about him earlier. He's making $20,000 a month. He's in this Facebook group. All right, so if you didn't sign up immediately, there's just one or two reasons. Number one, you don't think you can come up with ebook ideas that sell, and my guarantee covers that. Reason number two, you're nervous about putting it all in place. All right. The guarantee also covers that. Remember, if you can't do this, I will help you. If after 30 days of trying, I will help you out. Reason number three, you think it's too expensive. And if that's the case, after putting in this type of investment and what you get back, it's literally priceless. All right. So Remember, there's nothing special about me. For me to be able to be to the point where I'm making $40,000, $50,000 a month, you don't have to be there. You could just make $1,000 a month. Think about it, $500 a month. If you asked me before, if before I got exposed to this, if an additional $700 a month would help, yes, it would help me to pay my mortgage, to pay a car payment, I mean, there's so many things, to pay utility, to pay off debt, right? Now we live totally debt free. Besides our mortgage, we have no debt, and that's in part to the system here. Right? I personally can't write an ebook to save my life. Like I said, I failed English 101 not once but twice in school. I spent nearly 5 years of trial and error and thousands discovering the secrets that I'm giving you today for a small, one-time only, intelligent investment. Uh, if you think about it, you could spend countless hours doing it the hard way, or you can follow what I've done and do it the way that I'm doing it, right? I would prefer to do it this way, all right? So let's answer some more questions there, Sarah. I'm sure we've got a ton of
Yeah,
questions you can
yeah,
type
there
in.
is. Andy's got Yeah, so Andy's got a great question actually. Andy's asking, does Amazon like restrict or kind of like scrutinize your content? And are there some types of content that are not allowed,
That's a great question.
or some or like or niches that aren't allowed?
Well, here's what's not allowed, all right? Uh, any type of content that is racist or uh, sexual preference, and you're talking about folks that might be of a specific sexual preference or gender or anything like that. They don't like racist material or anything like that, hateful material. They don't like PLR material, private label rights material. Um, they don't like that type of stuff. So, but other than that, yes, you can publish anything. You can publish fiction, nonfiction. You can publish romance, mystery, thrillers, how-to. You have a lot of success publishing how-to information, right? Step-by-step information. So it's literally open. You can publish long material. You can publish short material. Books about business methods
Okay.
or ideas. Yes, Andy.
Okay, great. Oh, okay, another question here. The virtual assistant, do you provide instructions on how to set it all up? The virtual
Yes.
assistant, how to use it?
Yes, absolutely. As soon as you get logged in, you get access, you'll get an email. Once you place your order, you will receive an email and you'll see a link in there for not only how to go in and sign up for the virtual assistant, which I suggest that you do immediately, okay, and then read the instructions that are in that same email as well. And you'll also get instructions on how to access the Facebook group, okay, how to access the Facebook group. And sometimes um, if you don't have uh, certain criteria in Facebook, it'll give you a hard time accessing the Facebook group. And if that is the case, you can send my support team an email at support@kindlecashflow.com, support@kindlecashflow.com, or you can give us a call at 1-866-752-9968. I know no one probably had a pen handy to write that down, so I will put it in the chat box for you as well. If anyone wants it, just let me know.
Okay, so Angela's saying, do you use your own like Amazon account, or is it best to like create a brand new Amazon account for this?
Oh, great question. Awesome question. You can use your existing Amazon account.
Okay, fantastic. How does this work in different countries? So, there's like an Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk. Do you publish books in, it's just, I'm interested in this myself, so just thought I'd ask the question. Ty, do you publish books, the same book in the US and, say, the UK as well, or do you just put it on just Amazon.com or just Amazon.co.uk, for instance?
Yes, absolutely. So when you make your ebook available from the Kindle Direct Publishing platform, Amazon automatically, and this is the beauty of it, this goes back to what we were talking about where Amazon wants you to make as much money as possible. They automatically make it available on all of your international sites. So Amazon.uk, the Canadian version of the site, the Australian version of it, the French version, everything else out there. So yes, good question, says Carol. She's in
Okay.
Canada. We're also
Okay,
coming down.
Ron's asking.
We've got just a
Okay, go on.
few more virtual assistants available. Wow, I'm amazed at how quickly we blew through the second
I know
Uh,
that. I told you they're good people.
yeah, absolutely.
Ron's actually asking a brilliant question. Okay, so when you sell a book on Amazon Kindle, what cut does Amazon take? How much? So if you like sell something for 2.99, how much do you get to keep of that?
Absolutely. So now, are you ready? Holding on to your seat? Who asked that question there? Was that
Ron Bell.
okay, Ron, listen to this. You get to keep 70%. If you price your ebooks between 2.99 and 9.99, you keep 70%. Okay? And the reason why is Amazon, they do a lot of testing. Like I do a lot of testing, split testing, but Amazon has done more testing than I can possibly ever imagine to. And they found that the ebooks that are priced between 2.99 and 9.99, all right, are more likely to sell. So if you price your ebooks between those two price points, they reward you by giving you 70%. They'll pay you 70%, and you get paid every 30 days. So every month you receive a check if you request to have a physical check mailed out to you, or you get an electronic wire transfer wired into your bank. Um, if you price your book over $9.99, you get paid 35%. If you price your book under $2.99, you get paid 35%. So you want to price it in between. Luckily for you, the price points that I've tested that tend to generate the most amount of sales are, like I said, between $2.99 and $4.99. So they fall within that 70% category. Again, we've got more orders that are coming in. If you want those virtual assistants, go into kcf2.com/Sarah, Sarah, all lowercase, and I will not be able to
Okay.
increase those again. So please, if you're on the fence, go in and do that right now.
Andy's just asking, you mentioned about getting your Amazon account banned. What kind of things would actually cause you to get your account banned?
Absolutely. Publishing private label rights material. Andy, are you familiar with what private label rights material are? PLR or master resale rights material? Okay, if not, let me briefly explain it. Private, okay, awesome, Andy. But there may be some. Is there anyone that wants me to explain what that is? Private label rights material, PLR? If not, we'll skip it. If so, I'll be more than happy. Okay,
Oh,
so
you've got a few yeses coming in.
awesome. So private label rights material is basically material that someone else created and gave me the option of buying the rights to, so that I can then go in and take that material and make it available anywhere I want to. So if you go in, let's say if Bobby created an ebook and he says, Ty, you can buy the rights to this ebook, and I purchased the rights, and he's also selling the rights to it to everyone else. So Sarah goes in and buys the rights to it, Michael buys the rights to it, and we all publish the same ebook on Amazon. That's what Amazon doesn't like. They don't like duplicate content. Okay. Um, so everything that you publish to Amazon should be 100% unique content that you write or that your ghostwriter writes for you. That's why I like using ghostwriters, because they're only writing content that is going to be made available for you. You get exclusive access to it. Andy, if you were the creator of the PLR, well, if you were the creator of it, then it may not, and if you're not giving rights out to anyone else, if you're not sharing it, then it probably wouldn't be PLR. Yeah, but they don't want any duplicate material on their site. So everything has to be 100% unique. Great question.
Yeah, I think what happened was they ended up with the same Kindle book being uploaded to Amazon, dozens of times,
Yeah, you had,
and it was starting to, yeah.
yeah, so you had like 40 copies
Okay,
of Moby Dick up there, yeah.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Uh,
Great questions, by the way. Folks, there's no such thing as a
okay.
dumb question. Go in and ask.
Apparently, in South Africa, you only get paid by check, not wire transfer or EFT, whatever that is. Do you know if they're going to
EFT.
change that policy anytime?
Yes, you're correct. That's the only, South Africa is the only place where you only can get paid by check. But hey, I'll take a check if it's a couple of $1,000, right? Not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Lynn says, Ty, your Facebook page looks personal, not like for other Kindle writers, or did I get that wrong? Lynn, yes, you go in and you should see a link in the email that you received, and then when you click on that link, that will give you access to it, or send me a private message and I'll add you to the Facebook group. All right. Yeah, and EFT, thank you, Jim, stands for Electronic Funds Transfer.
Ah, right, okay.
Michael has a great
Okay,
question. Michael says, so when paying someone to write for you, a ghostwriter, should there be an agreement with them that they waive any rights to the material that they create? Yes. So, and that's a great question, Michael. When you use any of these outsourcing sites like Elance is a great one. It's not the one that I use the most. I share with you in the program the one that I use the most, and I don't want to give it away because just to be fair with everyone that's purchased already. You automatically have an agreement built in that says that you own the rights, all of the rights, the royalty rights, you own the byline rights, you own the copyright to that material once you pay them for it. Carol says, I get the virtual assistant. Yes, Carol, that is correct. As soon as you sign up, that's correct. All right. But Carol, you want to go in and sign up now because we are kind of low on those virtual assistants right there, and I don't want you to miss out on that.
okay. Yeah, I think we're almost out.
Yeah. So yes, Andy, you definitely want to avoid virtual assistants there. So what I want to do, guys, is here again, I'll cover everything that you get. You get the setup, which is a $997 value. It covers setting up your account, how to get started quickly, what not to do so that you don't get banned, right? And we talked about one of those things, which is uploading private label rights material. You want to make sure, because this is such an amazing business where you're going to generate income from this for years and years to come, right? If you do it the right way. Kindling for Profits, you get this module, which is a $1,497 value, right? And this covers how to find the right niche and readers, niches that sell and readers that buy, okay? You also get the buyer magnet, which is a $2,997 value. And this is the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. We talk about covers, pricing, titles, descriptions, reviews, and then you get the KDP cache extraction module, which is a $3,500 value. This covers the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. You'll also get all of these bonuses here, all right? And if you miss out on this third bonus, I do apologize, but we're almost out of those. But the total value of everything is $12,585, and you get everything. Normally, if this program sells for $2,000, today only you're getting it for one low price of $997 or two payments of $549 by going to kcf2.com/Sarah. And again, the first 15 people, we just added that. So for the next 15, we've got 30 total. That order will also get your own virtual assistant. You can use this individual, him or her, to help you research topics, to help you come up with title ideas, to help you write out descriptions, to help you communicate with your writer if you're outsourcing your material, and anything else that you can think of, including working on some of your other businesses, all right? And again, this bonus is only for the next couple of individuals that order at kcf2.com. It's an entire physical course. We ship this globally. I literally have students everywhere. This is the exciting part of it. Once you become part of this group and part of a Facebook group, you get access to people that are in Russia, London, all over Europe, France, Italy, South Africa, Canada, the US, Mexico, Germany. I've got one of my top students, actually. I want to show you a video from her. She's from Germany. Her name is Sabina. I actually met her out in London, and she says, Ty, you changed my life with this thing when I actually got a chance to met her. Oh, you can tell I'm getting tired. So now, this is Sabina right here. All right, and let me see if I can. Oh, I can't play it. For some reason, it's not playing. I don't think I have the videos. See, I told you, you don't have to. I'm not a technical person at all, so I must not have connected the videos the right way. But you can do this stuff even if you're not technical, because I'm certainly not a tech geek. So Sabina, she's in Germany, and she's pulled in $1,000 her first month selling an ebook that covers body makeover. I'm not even sure what body makeover is, to be honest with you. That shows how much I know about this, but I guess it's something that she's rocking it. $1,000 her first month, and then she's gone on to publish other books as well. This entire program comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. All right. You can return it anytime within 30 days and we'll send you your money back, no questions asked, 100% risk-free. Here's another, I don't think this one's working even because my cursor is not working. But Steve Schreier, in his first time, he brought in $390 publishing an ebook that deals with the topic of paddle surfing. That's pretty cool. I do know what paddle surfing is. All right, here's another review from, I wish I could get these things to work so you can hear from there, straight from the horse's mouth, as we say here in the U.S. Valerie, all right, she brought in $1,644.97 in just a few weeks, selling an ebook that deals with homeschool transcripts. I'm not sure what that is either. But, you know, and take a look at this. I got a text message one day, 9:30 in the morning from one of my students. His name is Brian. And he says, this guy's doing $5,000 a month now. He says, Ty, I wanted to update you since I've been doing a lot more PDC for the past 30 days. My Kindle business has more than doubled. This month will be my first $5,000 month. I want to thank you for all of your guidance and inspiration. My goal is set on getting to the 10,000 per month mark by June 1st, 2015. I think the missing sauce is copying bestsellers versus creating. So he's doing $5,000 a month now, and he's only been in my program for just a short period of time, as of the time when he sent this out to me. Right? This is what I like about this. I love being able to get emails, Facebook messages. I get people who post on my Facebook page about the progress they're having. I get, in this case, a text because, you know, I give some of my students my personal information when you get it. So you always have access to me. All right. Here's another testimonial from, again, this is one of my sweethearts right here, Linda Allen. She's actually here in North Carolina also. Now, Linda, because of family reasons, she says she had to stop publishing for a while. All right. I got Ty's program last year, and I'm so glad I did. I made several $1,000s last year, and that's after stopping writing after several months because she had some issues with one of her kids, right? However, I started writing books again about 3 months ago. And I mean, she's back on track. She stopped publishing. And even during the period where she stopped, because it's such a passive income stream, she still was generating thousands of dollars a month, right? This is in a Facebook group. So you see, like, we really help each other out. And Doc says, hi, Linda, that's exactly why I wanted to join Ty's group. It is this attitude of helping and sharing that will add to the success of us all. The more value we give to others, the greater the return to others will manifest. All right, Debbie, very encouraging. We've got folks of all ages. We've got folks that are as young as 18 in here to as old as 70. We've got males and we've got females. We have people that are literally on every single continent that are part of this Facebook group and that are killing it. All right, so I know we've been on this thing forever, it seems like, but time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think we got a couple more questions, and then that's it. We've got Andy's actually asking about pen names. So if you do use a pen name, does your real name inside the book?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? You faded out for a bit.
Okay, so if you use a pen name when you create a Kindle book, does Amazon require you to put your real name inside the book?
No, not at all. That's a great question. So here's the thing. When you create your account, you're going to use your real name. When you create your KDP account, you can use your real name or your business name. Um, then you'll see in a separate section when you upload your books, there's a section where Amazon says you can enter your pen name or your real name if you want to. So again, it's totally okay and it's totally within Amazon's terms of service to use your pen name. That's a great
And
question,
can you
by the
use
way.
several pen names on one account? Yeah.
Yes, you absolutely can. You
Okay.
absolutely can. That's fine.
Okay.
And you want to, especially if you're publishing within different genres, because you don't want to look like a jack of all trades, right? You don't want to look like where it says Sarah's
Yeah.
got a book that deals with car repair, and then she's also got one that deals with how to apply makeup.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
Well, hell, if it makes money, why not?
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. And
Uh,
Nancy says, is the course online or do I have to wait for it to be shipped? It is a physical course, Nancy, so you get access to it physically.
I actually prefer physical products like that. Even, to be honest, even if I buy an ebook, I actually normally print them out. And in
I do
fact,
too.
I've broken several printers printing courses out. Something about it when I'm going through something step by step. There's nothing like actually having a manual in front of you. and being able to implement something that way. I think it's the best way which you can implement something personally. And
I'm
when
right
I
there
first
with
started
you.
that's exactly what I did.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I
Same
mean, I've
here.
still got a whole shelf full of stuff like that, which I still refer to on a daily basis. Okay.
So it's
Okay.
good to know that I'm not the
Brilliant.
only one. I just printed out like 40 pages of material to take with me on the plane ride tomorrow.
I'm exactly the same. So much for the paperless world, eh?
I know.
Okay, I think that's the end of the questions there. I think we're, if you've got any more questions, do type them in. But I think we're there. I mean, crikey, we're almost up to 3 hours. So thank you so much, Ty, for staying on this long. You've delivered some absolutely fantastic content. We've got a ton of people actually thanking you, saying thank you so much for some great content here. And someone's asking, can you put the phone number up, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which phone number you
I'll
mean?
put it in there, Deborah.
Is that
It
the
is.
for ordering?
Deborah, is that for ordering or
Okay.
that was for customer support? Are you? Did you want the phone number to order? That phone number was for customer support. What did you want it for, Deborah? And I'll put it up here
Maybe put the, yeah,
in just a second. But you can order online.
for ordering, yeah.
Yeah. Is that what it says? My screen just
Okay.
froze on me. She says for ordering.
Ah, okay, yeah, it's for ordering.
Okay. So it's
Well, at
Deborah.
least it's frozen at the end.
Yeah, it's 1-866-752-9968. And when you call, tell them that you just watched the webinar with Sarah Starr. Okay, make sure that you tell them that you just watched the webinar with Ty Cohen and Sarah Starr. So again, it's 1-866-752-9968.
Okay,
Okay.
brilliant. Well, fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Ty, for coming on this webinar. We've all enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I've taken a ton of notes. I'm going to be taking some action here, I think. And I think, you know, my people are action takers. They love actually implementing stuff and take action. And I'm looking forward to some testimonials. I really am, to see how much you guys are going to start raking in per month
Absolutely.
using this system. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much, Ty. And can't wait to meet up next time I come over to the States. Maybe it'll be on the Internet Marketers Cruise. I'm hoping to make that one. And you've delivered some fantastic content here. So I just want to say from everybody who's been on this evening, thank you so much and good evening. Thank you.
Same here. And if you haven't gotten your order in yet, please go in and do. I'll write down the website address here. I'll put it up here, kcf2.com/Sarah. And we have a few more of those virtual assistants that are available. So if you're watching this live, everyone that's been on with us, Catherine, Deborah, Gary, or if you're watching the replay, right, you might have a chance to go in and get the virtual assistant. So, so go in and visit kcf2.com/Sarah. All right, thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.